to Santa Fe? We do, and tonight from there we will paint the pictures as we present the IBEW Local 1205 Friday Night Rivals High School Football Game of the Week as presented by Radiant Credit Union. Tonight it is Palatka taking on Santa Fe. Good evening, everybody, alongside the All-American Shannon Snell. I'm Randy Reinhardt filling in for Jeff Cardozo, who's on assignment tonight with the UF football team. Hopefully he has better luck. And I tell you what, tonight we have a great matchup. You got the Panthers taking on the Raiders. This should be a great game in week number 4.
Yeah, this is a rivalry. It's a district game, the first district game for each team. Randy, I'm excited because we're getting to see a new look Santa Fe Raiders. A team that's really excited, that put up a lot of points the last couple of weeks. So taking on a team that's really beat the pants off of them the last 4 years. So let's see what happens tonight.
Let's take a look at Palatka. You take a look at this team, the Panthers 1-2 on the campaign, but they've been steady Eddie in the past, 7-4, 7-4, 7-4 the last 3 years. And the times they are changing right now for Santa Fe. You talk about what has happened there. The coaches have changed. You know what? They've had more coaches in the last 4 years than they've had victories. Now, Ernest Graham is here to run the show. What a masterful job he has done in the first 2 weeks of their contest. They are 2-0. They haven't had 2 games strung together in the W column since 2019. So with that being said, we step into the restaurant of Shannon Snell, and we get ready for the chef to cook up his recipe. These are his keys to success, his recipe for success, if you will, tonight, presented by Sonny's Barbecue. They are barbecue. What do you have?
Yeah, so we'll talk about Santa Fe first, right? New kids on the block. When I say new kids on the block, this is a new coaching staff. Ernest Graham leading, as you talked about, guy that's really injected a lot of life in this program. So new kids on the block, new time, 2-0 for the first time in a couple years. So let's see what happens with them tonight. And welcome to Good Burger, meaning they put up 50 burgers twice in the past couple weeks. So expect to see a lot of points out of Santa Fe tonight. And for Palatka, get the offense rolling. Listen, they're going to have to go head-to-head with a surprise Santa Fe team. They got to get that offense rolling here tonight and run to slow. That means run the ball to slow. You got to run the ball to slow down this offense tonight. We got to see Palatka do that in order to keep pace with this Santa Fe offense.
And Lance Lowry has 8 running backs, 8 that he can use in this contest tonight. All right, with that being said, players to watch for. What's on your menu tonight?
Yeah, for Santa Fe is Josiah Powell. He's been a really good player, had a lot of yards, is really leading this offense. Tough to bring down, and you're going to see the ball in his hands a lot tonight. And for Palatka, you got Kendrick Wright Jr. Ran for 167 yards last week, so they're going to hand that rock to him. It's going to be a battle of the running backs, and we're going to see who comes out on top.
And Palatka has owned this series. Shannon alluded to it. They lead 6-0 in the series. Question, are you ready for some football?
Let's do it, Randy.
Are you ready for some football? What a night we have for week number 4 as the Panthers take on the Raiders. Kickoff just around the corner, right here in one place on My 11. And welcome back to Warren Buck Field. Time now for the coin toss. This is your Radiant Credit Union coin toss. Define your financial future with Radiant Credit Union. And you take a look at it, Shannon, and it looks like Santa Fe won the toss and they have deferred.
Yeah, said, listen, we're playing defense first, and that's a good idea. You know, it's like we're playing a video game right now. Anytime you win the coin toss, you defer because obviously option, you want to put your defense out there on the field. But if things don't go as planned in the first half, Randy, you always have the chance to get the ball first, second half.
And I think what we're going to see here in this contest is the level of competition. Who did these teams play in the first couple of weeks? Can you compare those? When you look at Palatka, it was quite an opportunity they had early in the season, but they ran into the likes of St. Augustine and then Baldwin in consecutive weeks before defeating Providence 40-35. And we know that St. Augustine year in and year out is always a tough team to start with.
Yeah, even Baldwin. Baldwin's got a great team, got a bunch of guys up there, a bunch of athletes. So came out hot out of the gate, but let's see if they can get it really on track tonight against a really improved Santa Fe team.
Mayor Steen is the all-world kicker for the Raiders, and we're just about ready now for the Sky Frog Tree Service kickoff. Sky Frog, stay motivated with Sky Frog. And we are underway here in week number 4, short kick. And we're going to start the return. Up the near side, up across the 15 to the 20, and there is a seam.
Oh, boy.
The sidelines. Here we go.
That's housework.
That is a long run down the sideline, but we got a flag at the 32-yard line, so we're going to be coming back after that long return by Tommy Offord. As Offord's going to take it the distance, and this is a guy that, according to his head coach, Lance Lowry, is the best player whenever he walks on the field, but unfortunately, it's coming back because of a hold.
Damn it, Randy. I mean, he wasn't lying. He just took that kickoff to the house, and funny thing is if your head coach Ernest Graham for the Santa Fe Raiders you kick to this guy again. He just shown on the first kickoff of the game that he had the ability to get out the gate, and sure enough, I think twice about kicking him the ball again.
Wade Clayton, our referee, signaling, and you can see there was a hold back there, and nothing but smooth sailing for the 4-year starter who plays in the defensive secondary, also is the starting quarterback as well, too. So all of a sudden, what was a 90-plus yard return is going to be brought back. They're going to mark the ball at the 22-yard line, and that is where Palatka will start on offense in the first drive of this contest in week number 4.
Yeah, and this is going to be a test to see if Palatka can get this offense rolling. Love to run the football, so see if they can play some smash mouth football up front. Let's see what Santa Fe's defensive front does. Much improved football team, but that defense also was humming the last couple of weeks as well.
Aiden Wills is the offensive coordinator. They love that inverted bone. Let's see if they go with that on this first down play from just past the 22-yard line. And the snap, but they're going to hand it off the left side. There's nothing there. Great pursuit by that defense. And actually, that was Noah McKinley who was in there on quarterback the first play of the game. The junior out there to take the snap and hand it off, but great pursuit by that defense from the Raiders.
Yeah, and that's what I just talked about with Santa Fe is that, one thing that they instilled into these players is gang tackling. We saw it last week at Buchholz about how they were able to run guys, all 11 cats getting to the ball. Santa Fe doing the same thing. And in high school, you will have defenders and you will have running backs that have the ability to break tackles. And sure enough, they got to get guys on the ground tonight, and Santa Fe did a good job on that first play.
A massive loss back inside the 15-yard line. They've got second down and long, almost 18 from there. And again, McKinley at quarterback. The junior looking left, pumping, going to his right. What can he find? He finds big number 10, who just kisses him right there, as John Cutler, the transfer from Buchholz, says you're not going any further than that.
I mean, Santa Fe's out here fired up. John Cutler coming up and laying a big hit. And this is, great defense right here. Taking away the first read, Randy. You saw him pump fake that. He wanted to throw that hot slant out there, and sure enough, wasn't able to get to it.
And there are your starting lineups on offense for Palatka, courtesy of the IBEW Local 1205. As we mentioned, Noah McKinley actually seeing the snaps here early in this contest. Fells, Phillips, Leisure, just some of the running backs they can throw at you, Shannon. 8 different running backs in this contest. Third down, they lost one on the play. It's third down and just about 19 from there, from around the 14-yard line. And now Offord is back at quarterback. And he rolls left, and what does he find? He's going long downfield. One-on-one coverage, the adjustment to the ball, and incomplete, in and out of the hands on the play of K.J. Wright, who you talked about. This guy is a special athlete when you look at what he can do. Second fastest kid in the state in the 400.
Yeah, well, excellent play right there by Markel Johnson to playing the ball. Kind of got his head around the last second, a little bit of bumping going on there, but nice job by Santa Fe getting a 3-and-out on that first drive of the game.
So Tommy Offord is normally the punter, and he will stand in there and be ready to boot from back inside the 10-yard line. Early in this contest, we have played just over 2 minutes in the first quarter of play. You can see information on Tommy, a guy that, a quiet leader, if there is such a thing in high school football. He can do it. That's a line drive affair. It's going to be picked up at the 47-yard line. A nice return to inside the 40, all the way down to around the 38-yard line on the play, as Malcolm Mariax has already scored this season. Gets a short field now for his Raiders on their first possession.
And this is going to be the fun part, right? We've seen Santa Fe have pretty decent defenses in the past. It's just that it looked like a fire drill gone bad when they got on offense. So, a team that was able to put up 50 points, Randy, twice in the last couple of weeks, and you see the offense right here.
And there's the guys to watch for. You talked about Powell, but watch for Kamarian Neal, also known as Kiki, by the way. He is something special as a wide receiver, but also as a running back. That right side of the line, Leon and Lopez, two of the best ones they have up front. And by the way, they can go unbalanced whenever they want to as well. First and 10 from the 37-yard line. Danson Gentry at quarterback. And he's going to hand it off, and nothing there off the left-hand side. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it on the play for the aforementioned Josiah Powell.
Yeah, as you talked about, both Josiah Powell and Kamarion Neal back there in the backfield. Both guys able to make big plays. If you didn't know, these guys are really what engineers this offense. So expect to see the ball in their hands quite a bit tonight.
Take a look at that defensive 3-4 base for Chris Morrill, who's the D coordinator. Good guys up front, too. Linebackers are special. And you got you got Wright and Offord in the secondary. So those guys, they are hard to beat deep on a second down play. Gentry calls his own number and glides inside the 35 to maybe the 33-yard line before he's brought down on the play. So Tyler Gentry, a guy that hasn't thrown the ball that often. So in the first 2 games, just 2 of 3 passing for 29 yards, 1 carry for 2 yards for number 1 coming into this contest.
Yeah, didn't have to throw the ball a whole lot when you have number 3 and number 4 in the backfield, but going to be counted on a little bit more here tonight. This Palatka team is going to be a tougher contest. They're going to try to stuff the front with those big defensive tackles, so expect more out of Gentry here tonight.
From the 33 they go. They need another 6 to move the sticks.
Say that 3 times real fast.
Not without spitting. Thank you very much. We don't spit anymore in football, do we?
No spitting allowed.
Thank you very much. I made that joke before it happened for UF last week. Quick dump in the flat. Receiver was open. Pass incomplete. Overthrown on the play for the tight end, Tyson Thomas.
Good gracious, he was just butt naked wide open. There was nobody around him within 5 yards. If Gentry hits that pass, I mean, he's still running up that sideline. Got to be able to make those throws here tonight to really give your offense a chance here to put some points on the board.
Now you have an all-world kicker in Mayer Steen, but I think he's going to go from the punt formation this time instead of for a field goal. It would be about 51, 52 yards. So instead he stands back at the 47-yard line of the Panthers. Fake one here early in this contest?
No, I don't think you have to. I think your defense played well enough. They showed enough on that first drive. Pin them deep, right? Pin them deep and play some defense. It's a game of field position, Randy. We don't talk about that enough. We talk about offense, defense, defense, and special teams, but field position means a lot as well.
Put a lot of air under that one, and the return along the far side of the field. Look out up the sidelines. Nice cutback there inside the 40, inside the 35, all the way down to the 33-yard line. Great job that time by big number 21 on the play for Palatka, and that is K.J. Wright. We talked about his speed, and he showed not only his speed but his maneuverability as well.
Yes, that's, why would you kick the ball to him so short, right? That punt kind of rolled off the side of his foot, and K.J. was able to run under that and get up that sideline, almost take that to the house.
We've only just begun. 8:10 left to go in the first stanza, and we are scoreless here in week number 4 on My 11. We would like to take a moment to thank the fine folks at Sonny's Barbecue for feeding our Friday Night Rivals crew. Sonny's, we are barbecue. Ooh, yeah.
Love it. The funny thing is, Randy, is that if you got a really good arm, you do, I don't, but you could throw a football and hit the Alachua store, which provided the food here tonight. So thank you to them, and thank you to the good folks at Sonny's Barbecue.
How could I possibly have an arm when you're the All-American?
Well, that's because I had my hand in the dirt blocking people. It wasn't throwing a football, so.
I was all Granger, Indiana for what it was worth, and that's worth nothing. Quick hitter right up the middle, and the guy that returned the punt is also getting the handoff on the play, too. Nice run by big number 21, K.J. Wright, for a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, finally getting the ball into the hands of who should have the ball in their hands. K.J. Wright, who we highlighted at the top of the broadcast, 167 yards last week rushing. Really got that offense going and put up a lot of points on the board. So expect to see him have the ball in his hands tonight.
Santa Fe defense, and Jason Powell, the father of Josiah, is the D coordinator, and they love that 3-4 base because it fits their personnel. Crevasse is a guy that's got an interception return for a touchdown. Strength in secondary. Also, the backers are pretty good as well, too. They'll keep it on the ground, and we talked about the fact that they love to run 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 different running backs. And now on the carry that time is big number 25, and that is Jawan Phillips. And Phillips is part of one of the groups they have. They have a power running back package with Phillips and Fells, and also with Leisure. And then they have a Skittles package, which is Wright, Ashley, and Evans, which is the smaller, faster group of guys. And you would think more colorful, too, if they're the Skittles group. Right?
I like that. I was trying to figure out, is that the Marshawn Lynch package? The Skittles guys, so I don't know.
Let's call it 3rd down and 4 now from the 26-yard line. Again, they love that inverted bone. Offered the quarterback. Will he keep on his 3rd down play? He tries to, and then pitches it off at the last second to Wright, who's got a room on the outside, and motors inside the 15 down to around the 12, and will have enough for a Panther first down.
And this is the thing about this offense, this wishbone, bone offense that has a lot of intricate delicacies to it, meaning that you got to play somewhat of assignment football. Each guy has to take his assignment because of things like that. This little sharp reverse that they ran that had nothing to do with the play because you were sending a bunch of guys into the middle.
It's another UF Health Ortho Care first down. Walk-ins welcome 7 days a week. All right, here we go with the first down and 10, threatening to score inside the red zone as well, too. It's the Call a Mattress red zone. Call a Mattress deals so hot they built a fire station across the street. Again, they invert that bone. Offord redirects one of the running backs a little bit. Misdirection. He's going to keep the pressures there from the outside. Nowhere to go. Great penetration that time by Javen Williams, who comes in to make the hit on the play and stops the play dead in its tracks. The safety with 2 solos and 2 assists.
Yeah, plays a little outside linebacker too. And you can tell from the start that for Palatka, that play was a little bit off. Running back went the opposite way. You can see KJ Wright was just, Tommy Offord was just kind of like, my back's not here. So somebody called that play wrong, or somebody went the wrong way.
Second down and long now. They lost about 4 on the play back to around the 17-yard line. Offord needs 1 block, obviously, Shannon, to get to the corner, and twice he hasn't gotten it. Let's see what he gets on this play. Going to hand it off and scooting right and then left and spinning, and look at the scrum inside the 13 to the 12. They push it forward on the play. Is on the carry again for the second time this contest is Juwan Phillips.
Yeah, so we've seen Juwan Phillips, we've seen Kendrick Wright, we've seen some of Tommy Offord. This is the thing about Palatka, is that you want to get them off the field early and often. And we talked about what Palatka has to do is like run the slow, right? Run to slow down this Santa Fe offense, keep them off the field. Awesome. They're doing a great job over here tonight, but keep an eye on what happens in the third and fourth quarter, because they start to wear people down. And with those 8 back sets, they have 8 fresh bodies. That could be fresh legs that come in the fourth quarter.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's 3rd down and 10 from just inside the 12. 2 backs in the backfield this time for Offord. Wants to throw, and we've got whistles before we start the play. And we have a false start on the offense. March it back 5.
And that's the one thing, Randy, that we saw a ton of last week was penalties. It seems like that yellow flag was hitting the ground. And when it's in a game this closely contested against district rivals, you want to try to keep these penalties to a minimum, especially those undisciplined pre-snap penalties like offsides.
A whistle, a timeout on the field here with about 3:40 left to go in this first quarter. I'm glad to have you aboard. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll see what happens on this drive for Palatka. You are watching Friday Night Rivals on My 11. It is time to raise the roof with Mission Metals. Mission Metals, your trusted hometown metal roofing and metal building supplier, right here on Friday Night Rivals. Big play here. 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 15. What are you thinking of right here, Shannon?
Well, you got to put the ball in the air, right? Get something out to the edge. Try to get Tommy Offord on the edge. And just in case this could be 4-down territory right here, Randy. So let's see what they decide to do. But get them on the edge. See if you can throw something over near the corner and try to get yourself first down here.
Well, you got Wright one-on-one to the outside. Offord rolling that way. Will he toss? Will he run? He will look downfield and tuck it and get inside the 10-yard line. Slides down around the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. So that's the scenario they have here. A 4th down. Now, they've added a kicker to their roster.
Thank God.
And it happened this week. His name is Ivan Rosas, and he is a freshman. But do you want to put him in a scenario like this early in a contest, and he's just joined the team, basically?
I don't think so. I don't think you really need to. He's going to be your extra point kicker, unless it comes down to the end of the game where you need him to make a kick. But here you are. I mean, you pin them deep if you don't make it, and you force Santa Fe to go the long thing. So I think this is a good. I think this is a good take here if you're Palatka.
Neal is in with the play from the bench on the 4th down play. Need to get the ball inside the 2-yard line. Offord rolls, looks, and throws in the corner, and the pass is caught for the touchdown. Snaring that and catching it for the score is number 21. That is KJ Wright. So Wright with the touchdown, and with that, it's another Radiant Credit Union touchdown. Define your financial future, and just like that, 6-0 to tally with 3:46 left to go in the first.
What a beautiful throw and catch! And now you get Tommy Offord rolling out to the left. He's got some guys in front of him, being able to seal the edge. He rolling to your left and throwing the ball as a right-hander is a really tough deal, and he was able to put it on Kendrick Wright Jr. right there and dance on him. That's what you got to do. You take it down there, 4th down, hit the pass in the end zone, get 6 points on the board.
And Rosas The freshman is out there to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and it is no good. And we'll stay at 6-0 here in this contest after that score on the play by Wright. And there's the freshman working off the field.
Yeah, fantastic drive by Palatka. You see exactly what we talk about when we talk about KJ Wright Jr. at the beginning of this broadcast of what he does. You're going to see him in the backfield. There he is right there. You're going to see him in the backfield doing a bunch of stuff. You're going to see him playing defense. All right, one of the fastest players on the team. And, you know, when your coach says out loud that when he walks onto the field, he's one of the best players out there, he damn sure means it. And he showed that on not only that first kickoff of the game, but he was able to show it right there on that touchdown.
Well, you talk about straight line speed. This guy has bottled it. And think about this. He's second fastest in the state. Tommy Offord was seventh fastest in the state. So you got two of those guys.
Speed personified. It's hard to beat speed, Randy. It really is a tough go.
Yet this is a team that emphasizes strength as well, too. Their head coach, Lance Lowry, is a 5-time state championship weightlifting coach as well, too. The one thing he said about his team early in the season, he said, I didn't feel we were strong enough early on. I think we are getting there now.
Leave it to a weightlifting guy to say that. I mean, if they can't outlift the coach, then that means they're not strong enough.
Rosas with the boot. And the return going to start right up the gut. Plenty of room to the outside across the field. Here he goes. That is Neal. Kiki Neal going down, and check that on the play. He is going to be brought down inside the 20-yard line. Kiki Neal is a guy that found the opening that time and just kept motoring down the field, started right up the middle. You would think that was the gut of the defense, and found the gap and took it downfield for a nice play.
Yeah, Rosas didn't get a great kickoff. Neal able to kind of pick it up off the ground and take it up that right sideline. Got some nice blocks there. Almost took that thing to the house. So nice answer by Santa Fe. And we've seen the Santa Fe in the past maybe fold a little bit or something bad happen right there. But now's their time to respond, right? It's still their serve, right? You know, Palatka still scores first. You know, Santa Fe gets the ball in the second half. So it's their time to answer. They have to be able to answer this drive with some meaningful points.
So that Sky Frog tree service kickoff went all the way inside the 20-yard line. But we have a penalty that's going to mark it back to around the 26-yard line, assessed to the Raiders. So that's where they will start the drive on the short side of the field. Though here late in the first stanza, they come in with a mark on the campaign of 2-0 on the season against Palatka that was 1-2.
I can't tell you how imperative this drive is for Santa Fe, Randy, to answer this and to not give this ball back to the Panthers.
Tyler Gentry's got 3 wide at the bottom of the set on this first down play from the 26. Nothing fancy, going to keep it on the ground right up the gut inside the 20-yard line for a nice gain of 8 or 9 on the play. Powell on the carry before he's knocked down on the play again by Javen Williams.
And one area you got to love what's improved about Santa Fe is up front of that offensive line. Me personally, the offensive line's been retooled. You got these guys on the same page, going in the same direction. And I think that's what's really changed in this offensive game plan.
Check that. That's Leisure on the hit, so he makes the tackle. But once again, we are in the Calamatras red zone. Calamatras deal so hot they build a fire station across the street. Second down and short. They need about 3 after his knee touchdown for Gentry and company. Tyler, a one-handed catch on the snap to his right and just glides inside the 20-yard line down to around the 17.
Now, you're going to see this a lot from Santa Fe, is that they're going to shift into different formations. They're going to shift into things that are a little unconventional. But the goal is to get people outside the box, Randy, and try to open up these run lanes.
We've got a third down. Let's call it a long one as Gentry slides closer to the sidelines. Carl Harmon is the offensive coordinator. Was on the staff last year as well, too, as was head coach Ernest Graham. He was on a different coaching staff, actually down in Gainesville High School as the offensive coordinator for Ian Scott and company. So these guys have known each other at least for a while. Now they get the chance to coach together. Powell's going to get the handoff. Needed one, got one, but paid the price inside the 15, knocked down around the 14-yard line. But the hit is made on the play by Clayton Shivers coming up from the secondary.
And it seems like right now as you're watching these safeties get down into the box and Palatka's sending a bunch of guys up the middle, they're primed for something over the top. They're primed for maybe a play-action pass. So be aware of that if you're Palatka or if you're Santa Fe, that thing could be wide open for them.
It's another GFL first down. Green today, green for life. Let's see what they do here on the first down and 10 as we approach 1:45 left to go on the first. We have to reach our neck out and bend to the left just to see the scoreboard and the clock. It is quite a distance away from the 14-yard line. It's Powell time. Off the right-hand side, we'll pick up a couple before he's knocked down and play. Good coverage that time by number 30. Falling on top of the pile was Lawrence Evans.
Yeah, Evans able to really get down low and make that tackle with minimal gain. And they're doing a good job up the middle. Palatka is, all right, keeping that Santa Fe run game to minimal gains and forcing them to go the long route, if you will. Like I said, be aware, Santa Fe has got some stuff. Tyler Gentry hasn't thrown a whole lot of passes yet, so you can figure that they're going to uncork him here at some point in time.
Tyler's got the ball down to the 12. Tyler, a guy that's played quarterback and wide receiver ever since 4th grade. On the snap, going to keep it. Gets inside the 10, gets it inside the 5-yard line. A methodical drive now. They're going to have it inside the 5 as they approach 1 minute left to go in the first stanza.
And, Randy, you would figure if you're Palatka, it's like, hey, let's take away the run game, right? Let's force Gentry to beat us, right? We saw one pass from him. He's thrown maybe one pass or 3 or 4 passes in the last 2 games. Put the pressure on that young man's right arm and see what he can do with it.
Just shy of the first down by about a yard inside the 4-yard line. They need another yard as we're under a minute left to go in the first quarter. Is it Powell time?
It's Powell time. You give him the ball here.
He's got it. Dances right, then left, glides, and he looks like he's got enough for the first down. Hit made on the play by big number 76 on the play as Corey Black. He has got the ball, though, inside the 5-yard line, enough for a first down, and that is the way we're going to end the first quarter. So Santa Fe driving, look for a scoring tally here. They're going to say he's shy of the goal line, and that will end the first quarter. They will go 99 yards the other direction to see if they can cap this drive, and you can see it all right here. We'll take a break. And just a reminder, this is the IBEW Local 1205 Friday Night Rivals presented by Radiant Credit Union on My 11. A great scoring drive there. And the Parks Motor Group of Gainesville scoring summary. And we'll show you this first drive that we had as they take it offered to right with that touchdown pass to get the tally, and a great job on that play too when you take a look at the nice rollout, and again throwing across his body, Shannon, for the touchdown.
Yeah, and Alford had Jaden Ashley in front of him blocking. You had June Phillips in front of him, but able to really put it up and get some air under it. And then what a hell of a catch by right there on the edge. And that was, sometimes all hands, and those are the ones that get dropped, but he was able to take care of his quarterback and get those points on the board.
That's Parks Motor Group, local roots, community pride, and legendary rides. 6-0 the tally, but the Raiders are driving here on My 11. It has been a somber week here in the Santa Fe high school community as 17-year-old Jonathan J.P. Pryor lost his life a week ago today. He was driving southbound on his motorcycle on State Road 121 in Union County, and he hit the rear end of an SUV near Southwest 76th Way. He was thrown off the motorcycle, and a guy that had so much life and spirit. Kids that knew him going back to 2nd and 3rd grade said he always had a joke for them and a joke for the teacher, and that's hard to do. Keep everybody happy. LLJP is what they have here. Long live Jonathan Pryor on the fence and also on the field here. So sadly missed, and they had a memorial for him just a couple of days ago too as well that packed the gymnasium. And Shannon, it's been a rough week, and I know they'll continue to remember him as well.
Yeah, Randy, they will, man. It's always, something when not a part of the football team, but a really big part of the community, and a huge turnout at that memorial for him. His service is tomorrow, and I know there's a lot of people that are praying for his family, and we're praying for their family as well. So, our condolences to them, and, he's in a better place, so.
And a young man that was also a member of the wrestling team as well, too, so athletically did have ties to this community. His team is trying to make a statement here in the first play of the second quarter. Direct snap, turning it around the end, easily gliding into the touchdown area is the man that we've seen carry the ball the bulk of that drive, and that is the one and only Josiah Powell, who gets the touchdown as he slides in there and gets the score. And there's a flag, though, on the play, so that may negate everything as we're just a few seconds in the second quarter.
You saw 2 flags flying right there, Randy. It looks like it was holding right down the edge. A little bit of a weird play, almost like a misdirection play where it was Powell just went in the opposite direction, but that one's definitely coming back.
That's single wing almost, the old days of Denison football when they did that. So they'll mark it back after the hold across the 10-yard line. Your referee, Wade Clayton, is the booking commissioner for the Mid-Florida Officials Association. It's rare to see the top dog out on the field, but you've got that. And then you've got 4 members of the Patterson family who are also part of this officiating crew. We'll touch on that a little later on. So now they face the scenario where they've got the ball goal to go, but they're back past the 10-yard line. And again, it's Powell who gets the snap. Look at the move from the right to the left, zigging and zagging inside and getting near the goal line. Did he break the plane? And we're not getting a signal right now.
I feel like you need to give him the ball. Once we go back and watch this replay, I don't know if you can fully appreciate this. It looks like they're going to try to hurry this up.
They are rapidly to the line of scrimmage. He gets the direct snap, looks for a seam, pushes the pile, and makes it into the end zone for a touchdown.
I mean, Randy, that last run, he was able, a lot of times between the tackles, you're not able to do a lot when it comes to cutting, but he was able to get into the line, stop on a dime, and cut back to the left. That was an unbelievable run, and obviously gets paid off with the touchdown there on a subsequent run.
He had 29 carries for 206 yards, a 7.1 yard average, and now he's got 6 touchdowns on the season as the young man that has offers from Florida A&M and more gets the touchdown.
Yeah, they're going to get a heck of a young man and an even better player. Just what you see right there is he's a bell cow. You've seen that around the college landscape, high school landscape, even pro landscape about guys that can be in there all 3 downs, and he's one of those guys.
Another Radiant Credit Union touchdown as we get ready for the extra point. And encroachment is the call on the Panthers. So they're going to move it up a little bit. See if we can get the elevation in time now from the 8-yard line for Steen. Mayer governs the football and drills it. And with that kick by Steen, they take the lead now in this contest by a count of 7-6. An impressive drive. A little direct snap action, and Mr. Steen keen with his extra point to give them the 1-point lead.
Randy, I think you hit my car out there in the parking lot. I mean, good God. I mean,
and you were
still rising,
home, right?
It was still rising on the way over there. Wow. Not too often I'm impressed by a extra point, but that was, I can't wait to see if Santa Fe has to go for a long field goal here, what he can actually do.
Josiah Powell, who likes football, eating, sleeping, and math, and probably in that order, gets the touchdown for the 6th time this season. He's been playing since he was 5 years of age.
Football, eating, sleeping, and math. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than that.
What were your favorites if you had to list a couple in high school?
It was 3 of those, and math wasn't one of them. So
narrows it down, doesn't it? So we'll have the kickoff from the 40-yard line again. A nice answer that time from the squad from Santa Fe after what Palatka did on a prior drive.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable drive by Santa Fe, able to really take advantage of that short field position off of the kick return and got themselves in a good position, ran that ball really pretty much the entire drive, and it finished off by Josiah Powell right there for the 6 points. So really nice answer. Now, if you're Palatka, you're going to have to do something before half because Santa Fe just answered your call.
They got wise that time to keep it away from Offord, but in doing so, on that Sky Frog Tree Service kickoff, they booted out of bounds. So it'll be good field position for Palatka. Now, coming up at halftime, we are going to have a lot of fun here, and we'll get a chance to meet Hannah Mack as well, too. We'll be handling everything at halftime for us. So check out the Pavlov halftime report coming up in this contest. And we'll talk with tonight's participating school administrators, plus Thursday Night Lights, Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country. Also, we'll meet our scholar athletes. All that coming up at halftime. So check that out. Should be a lot of fun. Hannah Mack will join us and make her debut for us on Friday Night Rivals. 1st and 10 from the 35. Offord going to hand it off, and they'll get the ball and churn it out across the 40 to the 42. Pickup of 7 yards in that first down play. As there's a nice gap right between center and tackle and guard and on the right-hand side, and they were able to maneuver that out for a nice gain on the play.
Yeah, nice little kind of option read right there. You can see, Tommy Offord had the opportunity to keep that right edge was open, but able to get a nice 7-yard gain right there. So you can't ask for more than that.
Justin Fells has been a force for this team all season. Last week against Providence, 5 carries, 56 yards.
And there it is.
And Offord on the toss around the corner. Down the sidelines they go. All the way down to around the 30-yard line. And again, it's number 21 showing you that he can do a lot with the football as a receiver and a running back. Another UF Health first down as Wright's got the carry and a big first down.
It gets dangerous, Randy, when you got Fells coming up the middle and then they pull it and Tommy Offord's on the edge. It's like, hey, we're going to take him. And then, oh, by the way, it's this guy called KJ Wright Jr. that can take it for the distance if you let him. So very dangerous offense if you let him be. Got to play that assignment football, but sometimes it's even that's even tough to defend as well.
Fells had a run of the week for the county. I don't know if you saw it. He went into a scrum and came out and went another 40 yards for a touchdown. On a first down play, off the right-hand side, churning and pushing the pile all the way down to the 22 and maybe the 21-yard line on the play is Lawrence Evans, another one of those running backs we talked about.
Yeah, fresh legs. And, Randy, this kind of feels like it's going to be a little bit of a shootout. And normally a shootout is the ball flying through the air and a lot of points are happening. But both of these teams are really running at will. They're doing a good job between the tackles and on the edges. And, Palatka is showing here again on their next drive that they're really making things happen.
And we have a timeout taken on the field by Santa Fe. They will burn their first timeout here in this first half with just about 10 minutes left to go. And with that being said, we'll step aside as well, too. Gorgeous night for football for everyone here at Warren Buck Field. Look forward to seeing you again in just a moment here. We'll take a break in the Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week here on My 11. During the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the IBEW Local 1205's Player of the Game. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 1205, powering a brighter future. And their support of high school football this season on My 11 has been outstanding. Representative every week coming in. And if you're looking for a future for that young person in your family, why not check out the IBEW? So much to offer. Second down, they need a couple. It is offered, and he's got the gap inside the 15 and thrown down at around the 13-yard line, but that will move the chains one more time as the hit is made on the play by Zyron Turner.
You got to feel like it's smoke and mirrors there, Randy, is that you got burned by KJ Wright there on that last play, and then all of a sudden you got to defend Tommy Alford. He's going to do exactly what he did right there. So it's really dangerous offense where you got a lot of guys that are making good decisions right now, putting Santa Fe in a really bad position.
Once again, we're in the Colomatris red zone. Deal so hot they had to build a fire station across the street. First and 10 from the 12. We got a wing now to the bottom of the formation. They'll offset the backs offered now. I don't think he likes what he sees, and I don't think the coaching staff does either, so they'll burn a timeout. They'll take their first. Each team now has burned a timeout here in the first half, and they'll regroup, and something wasn't right for them. They looked like they had strength to the left, but they looked to the right and like they were missing something, so they'll take the timeout. And, it was interesting talking to Coach Lowry. He talked about the strength of the team. So last year they asked the players to do 21 workouts in the offseason. 18 kids showed up. This year they asked them to do 21 workouts. 78 different players showed up.
Dang.
Well, I think the strength is coming.
I think but I think people are starting to believe in the vision, right?
Exactly.
I think, off-season workouts mean a lot because it's about more than getting stronger. It's about more than getting in condition. That's obviously a big part of it. But it's also about building camaraderie with your teammates and building camaraderie with your coaches. I can't tell you how some of those off-season workouts really formed our bonds because it was tough and it was hard. And, you spent more time with those guys than you spent with your own family. So, and it's really shown here on the field tonight because it just comes second nature.
Well, the pressure and the tradition is there when you talk about it, Shannon. 7-4 each of the last 3 seasons. 3 backs in the backfield along with Offord on the play. Will keep it himself, and good job by the defense. I watched number 10 on that play for Santa Fe, and John Cutler was just grabbing and grabbing at the football and grabbing anything he could get to try to bring him down.
Well, and this particular play, don't want to say, Tommy Alford has made some really great plays here tonight, but he should have handed that ball off to KJ Wright. He was around that left edge, and he had a blocker in front of him. So, great job by Santa Fe of really squeezing that down, and John Cutler really being like the nuisance where he had to force him to make a decision, but could have been a bigger play if it was for Palatka.
So we'll see what they do now on this second down play with the ball at the 10-yard line. They're going to go with a couple wideouts to the top. One of them is Ashley. We'll see what they decide to do. You would think they'll keep it on the ground again. And they do, and one. A great job by the middle of that defense to stand it up and push it back. I'll tell you what, you thought there was an opening for Justin Fells, and it was shut down almost immediately.
Yeah, Zachary Perez just came in and just blew that entire thing up, and you heard those pads singing down there, and this is what you want to see. This is what you want to see is that when that middle's coming open and you're thinking you have a big hole to run through, and all of a sudden it gets shut down and gets blown up, it gets the crowd excited, it gets your teammates excited. Well, nice stop right there right there by Zachary Perez.
I'll tell you what, that could be in the running for a school bus stop of the game. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus, but when the stop arm is out, the red lights are flashing, you know what you have to do. Stay tuned for the school bus stop of the game in the fourth quarter. All right, let's see what they do now in this third down play. Back again. They're going to look for the opening, and not a whole lot there working for them. So now what do you opt to do on a fourth down play? You tried, to do something on a fourth down play earlier, and you tried the field goal. It didn't work. Do you go for a field goal here? You're down by 1.
Absolutely not. Your field goal kicker had a little bit of a tough time getting that thing over the crossbars on that extra point. I think you got to go for it. It's 4th and 5, Randy. I think they had a great play call, and expect to see Tommy Alford roll out, try to get some run-pass option going here, and see if he can hit another big one for a first down or touchdown.
The pass was a little behind right by a half step. Markel Johnson on the coverage. So we'll see what they opt to do now here on this fourth down play. Fourth down, Alford rolling, looking into the corner of the end zone, and the pass incomplete on the play. So now they'll turn it over on downs as they were looking on the play in the corner for Trey Givens.
Feels like a wash, rinse, and repeat down there. Same play that they rolled out with and had the touchdown with down on the opposite end. Alford just a little bit off here, if you will. Trying to hit that corner route and a little bit over his head. He had it open. He had a little bit of space, but it was pretty well covered by Santa Fe right there.
So now we'll flip it over and give the ball back on a long field to the Raiders. 1st and 10. With 7:35 left to go, we'll see what the offensive Tyler Gentry and company can do. We may see some of Kieran Whitesides tonight, too, as well, a sophomore quarterback, too. A couple of guys, I think, played at Buchholz last year.
They did, yeah, a couple of these guys. And we talked about them here on offense here tonight, what they've been and what they did. Josiah Powell over there at Buchholz last year had 800 yards rushing. Came on over to Santa Fe and really helping them out this year. So we'll see what they can do.
Tyler Gentry still in there at quarterback. He will hand it off around the corner. And a chance to get something to the outside. Needed one more block on the play, but it was not there for Kiki Neal.
And this is what you probably have to do if you're Santa Fe. Have a long, methodical drive, right? You get the ball kicking off after second quarter and going into coming out of halftime. So a long drive, keeping your defense off the field, which came up with a big stop right there on that last drive for Palatka. Nice long drive, get some points on the board, and go into halftime, let these guys cool down and come on back out with your hair on fire.
Neal, another guy that played at Fort White last year. He likes to ride his bike, golf, travel, and read, and he's interested in math and government. Is it Powell time?
You already knew.
And he's got a gap, and he's got it across the 23-yard line before he's knocked down on the play. So a nice gain, setting up third down, hit made on the play for Santa Fe.
You got to love his running style, right? You look at his body style, and Randy, I was walking next to him before the game. Very just lower body, got a lot of strength down there. You can see able to break that first tackle, and 2 or 3 guys have to bring him to the ground. So that's a weapon to have, right? Especially in those short yardage situations like this one right here.
So Santa Fe with the hitter that time gets a nice gain, but they're third down and probably just less than 2 from where they stand right now. Powell will get it, and can he back his way across the 27 to get the first down with the extension? As he spins around, I think he's got enough to move the chains one more time.
He does. That forward body lean, that's what you love to see out of a running back. They have running backs that are scat backs, one that are receiving backs, some that, do a lot of things. But when you have a running back that can come downhill and get that first down that has good forward body lean, that's the kind of guy that you want getting you those short yardages on those short yardage situations.
So a timeout on the field after that UF Health Ortho Care first down. We'll take a break. This is the IBEW Local 1205 Friday Night Rivals presented by Radiant Credit Union right here on My 11. Fans, it is time to raise the roof with Mission Metals. Mission Metals, your trusted hometown metal roofing and metal building supplier right here on Friday Night Rivals. Check it out. They're kind of working on the basement right now. They'll get excited in a second and raise the roof. They're raising the roof right now musically and aesthetically as well, too.
There's the band. You got to love it. I was in band, Randy.
Were you?
I played the saxophone, man.
Really?
Yeah, I was decent.
I was clarinet. I was the only boy with 19 girls.
Nice.
I like the odds. We'll leave it at that. Handoff on the play this time. Get a nice gain on the play. They'll give it to Neal, and he's got a nice hit there for a few yards before he's brought down by Lawrence Evans. This guy's 5'8", but he hits a lot bigger than that. And we're told, he hits 5'8", but he hits like he's about 6'2". And he's a guy that's just a junior, so he's part of the future and the present right now when you look at it.
Yeah, sometimes people knock height, right? But sometimes it's nice being down that low when you're going to, take on somebody low and get them off their feet. So nice tackle right there by him, though.
So we'll see what happens now. On the second down. About 8, they're going to keep it on the ground. Nice churning. The legs always keep going. The one thing you're always taught is to run through contact. And you saw a perfect example of it on that play by Kiki Neal.
Yeah, you see Kiki and Josiah Powell. It's their show right now, right? You see a lot of 3, a lot of 4, a lot of 3, a lot of 4. And that's what Palatka is going to continue to see tonight. It's almost like looking into a mirror where you're seeing somebody that's trying to run the ball between the tackles, doing a lot of quarterback keepers here. Santa Fe is. They're doing a lot of, read options off tackle. Just wearing down the front of this Palatka defense right now.
Another GFL first down. Some jersey picking that time by St. Leger to make the hit, but not till they got out to the 39-yard line, and that's another first down. And look who's in at quarterback. That is Mr. Whitesides. Running the show. Powell around the left side doesn't have a block. Missed the block on the outside, so he's brought down. Tried to turn the corner, but there was nothing there because Justin Fells was waiting for him.
Yeah, this is the one thing you don't want to see. While Powell has been really good between the tackles, Palaka's doing a great job of sealing that edge, of really containing that edge. So, and guys are running to the football. So I'd love to see them come downhill a little bit more. They've had a lot of success with that. Get themselves into those second and short or third and short situations.
And you look at Whitesides. He's more of the pocket passer. When you look at his numbers, 5 of 13 coming in this game, 115 yards, 1 touchdown, a long of 34. And likes video games, part of the FCA. A pair of touchdown passes against Hawthorne and P.K. Young during the spring jamboree. Dumps it in the flat to Powell. Josiah finds midfield. By one defender and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. He should have been brought down about 10 yards sooner.
Well, I mean, Randy, first of all, there's 2 things here to say. First of all, number 3 is the man. I mean, Josiah Powell, we talked about him because of this very reason. Being shifty, being able to do things that not everybody on a football field can do. First of all, nice throw out there by Whiteside, able to get him out there, but it was good blocking out front. You see number 6 right there, Dontre Little, able to get in front and make some big blocks right there for him. Got a big first down, and they're moving the ball just like we said they needed to do on this drive.
From the 45-yard line of the Panthers. Powell this time between the tackles, going to pick up a couple of the guy he had contact with on the last play. Hits him again this time, and that's Leger. Yeah,
Leger able to come down, defeat the block, and make that tackle right there. He doesn't make that block. I mean, he's going for another 9-10 yards. So good job. There's one guy in there that's slowing him down. But you can see, if you take a look at this Palatka front, they got those hands on their hips. It's been a little bit of a long drive. They've been getting a steady dose of guys they don't want to see, hit them in the mouth. So got to be able to make a stop here and get the defense off the field.
Santa Fe wants a timeout, so they're going to burn their second timeout. And the other thing about Leger, too, 3-year starter at Keystone before this year, they describe him as a guy that's a ball player. He plays the downhill run very well. The exact phraseology, in fact, you saw it on that play.
Go figure, right? As coaches, it's almost like they've spoken into existence. And there's some guys that you have out there, Randy, on both teams that do things really well. We talk about Josiah Powell and what he does, and he's shifty and everything like that. But you talk about a guy like Zane Leger and, what he means to the run game. If he's able to slow down the run, and there's my buddy Travis right down the right. You see that big old scruffy beard.
Be nice to beards.
Head JV coach out there. But, you got a lot of guys on this field that, have special talents. They have things that they do really well and help out the football team. So, and right there for Leger, just a really nice job coming down. Has made quite a few plays here tonight.
Well, one of the few seniors on that defense for the Panthers, too, when you take a look at it. I mean, you saw, too, Mr. Powell along the sidelines. We should mention Josiah, the running back. He is just a junior. He's got another year. I think it's ironic that he plays on offense and his dad is the D coordinator. How often does that happen?
That's got to be bad when you got to see your son in practice and you got to tell them, you got to hit him in the mouth.
Beat up my son?
It's not son, beat up my son. Yeah, I don't know how good he feels about that.
Second down and 9. Whiteside's quick pop, near side. Passes man down the sidelines. Look out, look at the speed. One step and gone for Dontre Little. Little comes up big that time.
Damn it, man. Did you see that extra gear that he turned on? I mean, he caught that ball. Kind of was like surprised that it got on him so quick, but he was able to get his hands on it. And then he hit another level. See, you're going to see on this replay right here, Whiteside gets it out to him, and then all of a sudden that speed turns on right now. Number 18 right there. James Willis had an angle on him, but when that speed turns on, it gets really, really dangerous.
Little with tremendous speed. 4th time he's touched the ball. 2nd time he's got a touchdown. He has a rushing touchdown as well, too. But the quick pop in the flat, he takes it the distance for the tally. Steen with the icing. Plenty of leg, it is up, and it is good. Well, we wondered if this squad from Santa Fe was the real deal or not based on the teams they had played. Your answer so far is?
Hell yeah. I mean, this team definitely got, listen, Randy, over the course of 4 years, right, this team had won 2 games. They won that in 2 weeks here in the 2025 season. And you see what we're seeing right now, right here on night. This is the first time covering Santa Fe this season, and it's amazing what a change in leadership does. You know, Ernest Graham coming into this program and taking over and really making a difference, really getting guys to believe. And, you know, the offensive ineptness that Santa Fe always was has turned into somewhat of a juggernaut. It's a little bit surprising, and it's giving me goosebumps. So I'm very happy for the Raiders and very happy to see that they've got this crowd fired up.
So that Radiant Credit Union touchdown, an extra point, makes it an 8-point bulge right now as we get ready for the Sky Frog kickoff as well, too. And you look at it, too, you mentioned it, a couple of wins. They were 2-37 from 21 to 24. Last year, 1-9. 4 coaches in the last 4 years. And I mentioned, too, in the open, the last time they had 1 consecutive game was in 2019.
Yeah, it was 1 year after Mr. Shannon Snell was on the sideline coaching the Santa Fe Raiders, and, you know, as the offensive coordinator. And that was, you know, just damning to see, Randy, because it was just like this community has a lot of talent. They just weren't able to put it together, but you can see now that they're finally starting to come together.
Look at the move across the field, but watch the stick as well, too. Oh, that had to hurt. What a hit on the play by big number 24 by Markel Johnson on the return by George Taylor. Oh, I tell you what, it's time for a visit after that hit to Tucker Chiropractic. Big shout out to them using the activator instruments so we don't twist and crack your back.
Yeah, that hurt my back after that hit. I mean, you're able to come through and you better get your head up. I mean, I will run and you're looking to the right and you're like, oh, I see a guy. Hey, great form tackle right there. Get him up.
That's a takedown. That's a wrestling move right there.
Yeah, listen, that's a great form tackle right there.
Hello, Tucker. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Offered. Hands it off, and not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard. There was like a triangle waiting for him on the right-hand side as they tried to find a gap on the outside, and there was just nothing there for Fells.
I mean, this is what happens, Randy, when you're talking about, you know, when you talk about momentum. This is what happens when guys start getting fired up, and you saw numbers 97 right there, Cole Chong-Yu able to make that tackle. These guys are fired up. I mean, if you're Palatka, you got to figure something out, something to take the wind out of the sails of what Santa Fe is doing to them right now.
Let's call it 2nd down and pretty much no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. And hello, scrum. Rugby breaks out at the line of scrimmage again, and the inside has got the close sign on the door right now.
Yeah, Jamel Smith coming down and laying some lumber. Like, these guys are not playing. This is not the Santa Fe of old. You guys, if you're Palatka, you were so used to beating them, and there's been uneven scores the last 4 years where Palatka has come in here and they've been beating Santa Fe at their house. It hasn't been really a game, but when I told you that the new kids were on the block, they're new kids. You see head coach Ernest Graham right there, and just a former teammate of mine, and I'm telling you, he has a tough mentality, a tough-nosed mentality he's instilling into his players.
Smith, 3 solos, 1 assist, 1 sack coming into this contest, but room to the outside, and down the sidelines they go. When in doubt, look for some speed to the outside, and a flag on the play. I think they may have gotten his face mask as well, too, as taking it around the far end. I think that's right on the carry, and there's the flag resting it around the 38-yard line as well, too.
All right, KJ Wright said enough of all that noise. He heard us up here talking and able to get around that right edge. And you still have to be able to contain that young man because of that acceleration that he had around that right edge. And, you know, you take Alford because you don't want him to beat you. But at some point in time, you got to know number 21 is the best player on that team. And when he gets to that edge and able to get an extra 15 right there for that face mask, but he's the best player on that team, and you got to contain him.
Mark it down to the 25-yard line. Time now a factor in this first half. Under 140 left to go. They have a first down, though, to the Panthers from the 25 of the Raiders. Misdirection in the backfield. Offered, forced to keep, and again, somebody went the wrong direction. He's going to lose a few on the play.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get an option play out to that right side again, but this time Santa Fe able to send the corner, send an edge blitz off that edge and really shut down Tommy Alford before he had the chance to make a decision.
So when do you take a timeout? Well, there's the answer now.
You've spoken to existence.
It's like playing Jeopardy here. That's the second timeout unofficially. 1:21 left to go here in the first half. They'll take that timeout to slow things down a little bit and regroup after that loss on the play back to the 32-yard line. Interesting with this officiating crew that I mentioned too, Wade Clayton, your referee, but you got 4 members of the Patterson family who are part of this crew. The umpire is Courtney Patterson. He's the director of youth football programs at the Villages. The line judge is Cornelius Patterson. He's the brother of Courtney and the foreman for a water company. The linesman is Jaquez Patterson. Jaquez is the son of Courtney, just out of the military in nursing school. And then the clock operator is Andronika Patterson. She is the wife of Courtney, who's the umpire. Somehow, Antoine Jelks snuck in there as the back judge. He met her young men. And, of course, our referee tonight, Wade Clayton. So it's a Patterson affair.
You know, I got 2 things here, okay? We got to put you on Jeopardy because I feel like, Randy, you are a vast knowledge of, you know everything. Like you will be, if I was playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you'd be my lifeline. 100%. It wouldn't even be a question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of slow for this horse to get back in the race, though, after only doing 1 game a year. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for the kind words, too. Bells has got the ball. They're down to the 30-yard line. They took the timeout. That's the play they run. So now what do? When you got a lot of yardage you need, you're at the 30-yard line. You need to get down to the 15, and you've got just about a minute left to go in the half.
Hey, he's going to have to chuck it up. And listen, we've seen Tommy Alford able to roll out. This is probably a good time to do it. Because you still have some run-pass options available. You just got 1 timeout left in your bucket. You got to get moving now. Seems like they're kind of laboring a little bit. But I think you get offered out, maybe get them up that sideline, get them out of bounds, get yourself the first down with a couple shots at the end zone.
Better check the back judge pretty soon. If that hand goes up, it means 5 seconds till you have to snap the ball. You wonder if they look for Wright. Remember, he went through across his body twice in this contest, once to Givens and once to Wright. The one to Wright ended in a touchdown. The hand is up, but they snap in time. Off and rolling and looking, and he's going to gun it down into the end zone. And the pass incomplete. It looked like it was on target in the back of the end zone.
They love that play. You can see Wright is pretty comfortable throwing that ball left to right, coming back across his body and trying to lay that in the bread basket. Obviously, what got their first touchdown on board, but gone to it at their last drive and went down and it lost it on downs. But you see it here, and he's able to launch that and put it pretty accurately. You know, brings that in a little bit, and that thing is wide open. You see number 21, K.J. Wright, almost with another touchdown there.
The only thing with a pass like that, sometimes you have to add a lot of loft to it to throw across your body and throw it that deep. I think that time he almost got too much air into the football to get it down there. You need more of a strike in a scenario like that, and really couldn't get enough on it and just kind of tailed away at the end. So now you got the timeout taken with the last gasp on 4th down, and you see what they might do here. Obviously, a field goal is not in the equation for Palatka. And at halftime, don't forget the Pavlov Media halftime report just around the corner with the debut of Hannah Mack filling in for me as I fill in for Jeff. And Jeff is off to see the Gators against LSU, huh?
It's a big game this weekend, right? We talked at nauseum, and you've heard it on every radio, every program that they, you know, the Gators have to do something. And against LSU down in Death Valley, we'll see if it happens.
Wish them the best of luck. Keep your saliva in your mouth. Stay tuned for the Pavlov Media halftime report. We'll have this week's Parks Motor Group of Gainesville Scholar Athletes, and we'll also have so much more. Parks Motor Group, local roots, community pride, legendary rides. Here we go. 4th down, and we'll call it just about 15. And now, do we have a timeout taken on the other side? Yep. Santa Fe says, all right, we've had a chance to look at your setup. We'll go ahead and burn our final timeout. We're not going to need it in the halftime show anyway.
And going back to what we were saying about the Gators right there, I mean, everybody's talked about them all week, you know, even myself, Randy. And, you know, there was a lot of things that transpired against a really good USF team. I don't think anybody gave them a whole lot of credit, but there's a lot of things that transpired. And, you know, I think maybe the Gators come out tomorrow and play their best game. Underrated, undervalued, down in the dumps, and haven't really played their best game for a while. So we'll see, you know, what that looks like, and we'll see, you know, if they can pull out the win in a really hostile environment.
Yeah, it's hard to start slowly when you've got the league competition just around the corner. You need a crescendo by the time you get to week 3 or 4, and that's the situation you wonder about, too. There's some teams that play cupcakes the first couple of weeks. Is it more advantageous to do something like that, or do you want a test or two before you get into league play?
Well, I mean, take a look at what USF did, right? They played Boise out the gate, hit UF, now they're headed down to Miami. I think before you hit league play, I think it's sometimes great to play, those tough teams so you can get a gauge and test of where you are. But, it gives you some battle testedness before you go into those games that aren't as tough.
Offered rolling. He needs to get down to the 15-yard line. He steps out of bounds. He didn't get it.
Number 2 scampers around the left side.
He needed to get to the 15-yard line, and I think we're turning it over on downs. I'm not sure why he stepped out. You're going to stop the clock if you got the first down, but at least you will pin, I guess, Santa Fe deep, but he comes up a couple yards shy.
Yeah, I feel like he could have turned that back in right there and got himself at least a couple more yards. You got to be aware if you're offered of the down and distance, especially when you're this close and having the ability to put some points up on the board.
All right, do you do anything fancy here? Just take a knee.
Take a knee. Go inside. You got to feel good if you're Santa Fe. You get the ball after half. The last thing you want to do is turn the ball over and, have a scoop and score or something weird that goes on. If you're Coach Ernest Graham, take a knee, be proud of what you did in the first half, and come out and kick some butt in the second.
And Gentry will be the knee taker. Elliott takes a step back or two. And that should do it for a very entertaining first half.
Yeah, excellent job if you're Santa Fe playing. We knew they were going to be solid defensively. They have been in the past, but got to respect what they did on offense. 3 drives, 3-4 drives, and they scored some big touchdowns. Some guys made some really big plays.
Yeah, that pass from Whitesides to Little was a difference maker in the first half. Steen added the PAT. And 14-6 the count. Let's go down now to Hannah Mack. She's standing by here with the head coach of the Raiders.
Joined now by head coach Ernest Graham in his first year with Santa Fe. Coach, your team was able to get a couple stops at their defense in the second quarter, a couple turnover on downs. What did you like from them?
They were resilient. I mean, we talked all week. This team is a very explosive team. They have kind of a unique system, and, they're doing what they do. They make plays when they're in the open field, so we just got to do a better job rallying and tackling. Mm-hmm.
Your last offensive possession was very efficient, able to move the ball up the field quickly. What does your offense need to do to keep momentum flowing in the second half?
We need to keep playing our game. We need to keep pounding it. We expect those guys to, to come out and try to do everything they can, to stop us from, possessing the ball. But we have to rear up and be physical and, find a way to do what we do ultimately.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Santa Fe leads 14-6 at the half. Back upstairs to you guys.
Hannah, outstanding job, and we'll see what happens. And coming up later in the halftime, we'll hear the thoughts of the head coach from Palatka as well, too. 14-6 the tally in this one
Randy,
so far.
she did a great job down there, so you may be up here with me, and we may have to kick that Cardozo guy out.
Volleyball in the booth. We'll see what happens. 14-6, the Pavlov Media halftime report just around the corner here on My 11.
Parks Motor Group of Gainesville is proud to present the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Justin Fells of Palatka Junior Senior High School is active in varsity track and field, football, and basketball. He won the district championship for basketball. He competed at the state championship for track and field, and he qualified to compete in the all-county championships for both football and basketball. He also received a Division I scholarship. Justin has a 3.7 grade point average, and in his free time, he gives back to his community by mentoring elementary school students. This All-Star is now entered for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to the Parks Motor Group of Gainesville Scholar Athlete of the Week, Justin Fells.
On behalf of Parks Motor Group of Gainesville, congratulations on all of your hard work.
Thank you. I want to say shout out to my mom and dad for always pushing me to go above and beyond. Shout out to my family as a whole. Thank you.
Am I sending it to break or am I sending it back upstairs? Joined now by Assistant Principal at Palatka, Lamar Purifoy. Sir, there's a handful of career technical programs at your high school. How do those enhance the experiences for the students at Palatka?
It makes it a great deal because students don't have to necessarily go to college if they prefer not to go to, but we do have some good college things. Our early college, our dual enrollment, our AP classes, our ACE classes, and some other things like that. So, I mean, you can choose to go there or to some of our CT and technical courses.
Sure. So you say your students, they're definitely prepared whenever they're moving on to university, the AP, the ACE, all Cambridge classes that they're able to take. Those are very rigorous classes, and they leave Palatka feeling prepared.
Right. They do. They have a choice, many choices. They have automotive, welding, allied health, which is nursing, construction, which is new this year. Many more. I just it's so many that I can't even.
Too many to name.
Too many to name that I can. Yeah.
Definitely.
Welding. Exactly. So.
And the teachers there, how great are they able to work with the students and teach them skills in academics that's going to help them move on whenever they leave Palatka?
Our CTE teachers are pretty. They're jam up. They're really jam up. We have a good group of teachers that are helping these kids prepare. Like I said, if they don't want to go to college, they can use that route.
Your football team, they got a win last week, looking to get one here tonight. They're still in the game, down a score, but nothing too crazy yet. How do you think they're going to perform in the second half?
I think they're going to come out and do a little better than they did the first half. We had a little jitteries and we gave up some things and some flags that you see the kickoff for a touchdown, 100 yards, and it was held back by a holding penalty. But I think second half we'll be pretty good.
And the student life at Palatka, how is that? Are the students there very involved? They love the football team. What does that look like on a day-to-day basis?
Student life is pretty good. It's pretty good. We have 6 administrators, including our principal, and 5 of us are alumni of Palatka High School. So we're bringing back the old traditions that we used to have when we were in high school. The parades and stuff like that. The Panther Prowl at the stadium. Fireworks. We just give them that school spirit that we used to have and just, bring back the old Panther style.
All right, we'll see if Palatka can turn it around in the second half and take the lead. Santa Fe leads 14-6 at halftime. This is Friday Night Rivals on My 11.
Parks Motor Group of Gainesville is proud to present the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Drew Cornell of Santa Fe High School has played varsity soccer for 3 years where he is a starter. He is active in club soccer, Inter Gainesville, and was previously ranked 7th in the nation. He's also a member of the Santa Fe cross-country team. With a 4.91 GPA, Drew is serious about his schoolwork. He takes advanced placement courses and gets straight A's. He's been active in Santa Fe's student government for 4 years and has been the student body treasurer for the past 3 years. He is the treasurer for the Raiders Readers and Writers Club and is also a member of the Beta Club and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Drew volunteers helping children with disabilities at Limitless Legends FC and All-Inclusive Adaptive Soccer Club in High Springs. He's also a counselor at the Gainesville Soccer Alliance Kids Soccer Camp. For student government, he volunteers at Christmas charity events as well as student events including school-wide cleanups, pep rallies, prom, and graduation. Through other clubs, he volunteers at the Child Advocacy Center, the Relay for Life event, the Alachua Harvest Festival book drive, and his school's open houses. He also volunteers as a soccer referee competitively and recreationally. In his free time, Drew is an intern at Crate Incorporated, focusing on leadership and confidence strategies. This All-Star is now entered for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to the Parks Motor Group of Gainesville Scholar Athlete of the Week, Drew Cornell.
On behalf of Parks Motor Group of Gainesville, congratulations on all of your hard work.
All right, thank you so much.
Joined now by Principal of Santa Fe High School, Mr. Kelly Armstrong. Mr. Armstrong, there's a handful of programs here at Santa Fe, whether it's biotech, whether it's agriculture. What do those programs add to this high school?
Oh, it's an outstanding, really, opportunity for our kids to that career technical path, whether, like you said, our ag, vet, biotech, in this community where all 3 of those are super important. It's just opportunities for kids, and that's what we appreciate. So from the support of our district to our teachers, it just gives our kids these pathways to success, so we're proud of them.
Definitely. The teachers here, It's incredible faculty and staff. How much of a difference do they make in these students' lives every day?
Oh, everything. That's what it's all about. Our role as principals and deans and assistant principals, we're all just support personnel to provide everything for our teachers they need, because they're there for our kids every day. I am a teacher at heart. I'll always be a teacher, and my wife's a teacher, which is important, and we know that. So, yeah, they're everything. They pour into our kids. We had a tough week. I heard a kid say to us how they didn't know how much our teachers cared until they knew it, but they didn't really know it till this week. So, yeah, they're everything. So.
That's always great to have their support. I hear the band in the background. How much did they add on game nights, Friday night lights? How much energy do they bring to the Santa Fe Raiders?
I'm a band dad. Both my daughters are in band at Eastside. I don't say that, we're still Raiders.
So you've got to be careful with that.
Be careful. But no, at the same time, Raider Regiment, you hear them in the background, they're awesome. They've won multiple state titles in their performances, but also it's another path for kids. When we talk about our CTE programs, sports tonight, just opportunities for kids to succeed in their own genius. So, yeah, it's great.
First-year head coach Ernest Graham has turned this football program around 2-0 for the first time since 2014. It's been 11 years since that has happened for Santa Fe High School. How incredible has he been for this program?
No, I'm not even lying when I say I get chills a little bit, because when you pull into our school every day, it says Raider Pride, all right? So it's on our signs. We hear Raider Pride forever. It's been here for a long time, and it's always been here. But with a man like Ernest Graham coming in who literally shows it every daily. So from being a good person to supporting our kids to having that Raider Pride, no, we're just feel blessed to have Ernest Graham. Absolutely blessed. So thank you.
All right, we're going to bring in Brett Farrell for the check presentation. IBEW Local 1205 check presentation here with Brett.
Thank you so much. Sir, thank you.
Good to see you today. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Enjoying the crowd here tonight.
I was going to say, it's a packed stance. There's a lot of people here. Really, really good energy. What have you seen in the first half of football that you like?
Well, this team is doing fantastic. The band is obviously a great focal point as well, so I always love listening to the music.
Definitely, definitely. All right. Yeah, it's great to have you here. Let's bring in that check.
Thank you. Absolutely. Appreciate that. Thank you. So, really, appreciate My 11 supporting high school sports. And thank you so much for supporting high school sports. That's what it's all about. So thank you. You got it.
Yes, yes, it is. My 11 and Friday Night Rivals here with the $500 check. Wow. How much does this mean to your school, just to be here and have this type of coverage for a program that deserves it?
Exactly. So I'll start with that. Thank you. All right. But also 500 goes a long way in a current state of our economy. So, every little bit counts. It'll go directly to kids. That's what it's about. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You got it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Friday Night Rivals, My 11. Second half is right around the corner. Santa Fe leads 14-6. We'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, go Raiders.
Bounds Heating and Air is proud to present the Teacher Spotlight of the Week. This week's spotlight shines on Eliana Rosado Cao of Santa Fe High School. Mrs. Rosado Cao has been a teacher for 14 years, and all of them have been at Santa Fe. She teaches Spanish 1 and 2. She is the Foreign Language Department Chair and is a member of Santa Fe High School's School Advisory Council. Mrs. Rosado Cao's mission in teaching is to inspire students to grow into confident, respectful, and culturally aware individuals. Her favorite things about teaching are being creative with her lessons and watching her students enjoy them. She also enjoys bonding with each student. In her free time, Mrs. Rosado Cao enjoys hiking in nature, working out, and spending time with her family. Congratulations, Eliana Rosado Cao. Teacher Spotlight is proudly brought to you by Bounds Heating and Air. Experience the highest quality of comfort. Bounds Heating.
Joined now by head coach of Palatka football, Lance Lowry. Coach, in the first half, Santa Fe, they always have an emphasis on their run game. How do you slow that down in the second half?
Just got to tackle a little bit better and stay in our gaps. It's that simple.
KJ Wright for your team, he continues to be a force on the offensive side of things. How do you keep fueling him throughout the second half?
Keep giving him the football and letting him run full speed. That's it. It's real simple.
What are the keys for your team in the second half to continue to push forward and to combat there's only one score between you and Santa Fe right now? What are the keys to the game in the second half?
It's 2-1, so just keep mindful of that. Keep doing what we're doing. Don't shoot ourselves in the foot, and keep being happy with 3.5 yards of play. That's the key. Just keep going. Let them get tired because we're going to be okay.
All right. Thank you for your time, Coach. I appreciate it. All right. Let's take a look at the best of the Week 3 highlights.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Jackson's got to get something here. He got hit. The ball's on the ground. And you don't have any timeouts. They don't have any timeouts.
For the end zone. Caught! Flag! 17.9 to go. And
mistakes. But once they clear those up, West Seneca East is going to be a very good football team this year.
Extra point attempt and trying to get into the end zone for a 2-point attempt instead. After it was blocked, it was DJ Baker was the holder.
Forcing them to pass the ball. Deep down the field to Harden. Caught! Wow! Oh my goodness, did he actually come down with that?
Got him in the checkeration. Strike up. The Silver Fox fights on. What a play call. This could be a 40 in the end zone, but that's an SCDC touchdown for the Silver Foxes.
Take us to the end here. Connor Kolka needing to convert for 2. And it is loose. Was it a catch and a fumble? State College is on the football. Yes! State College scores on the 2-point conversion. Hank Lustig scooped it up.
Well, welcome back to week number 4 from Warren Buck Field, where Warren Buck was a coach and a science teacher extraordinaire at Santa Fe High School. And the home team on top, 14-6. Randy Reinhardt filling in for Jeff Cardozo, along with Shannon Snell. Great job by Hannah Mack at halftime as well, too. All right, 14-6, Shannon. You start the second half, and you're Santa Fe. You won the toss in the first, so you get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, you come out and do what you did in the first half. I mean, Santa Fe looked really good on the ground. We saw a steady dose of a couple players out there. We saw some Tyler Gentry. We saw some Josiah Powell, Kiki Neal, and we saw some Kieran Whiteside. So it's going to be a mixture of those guys, not to mention a really improved blocking by that offensive line and, you know, the great job that the defense has done here tonight. So expect Santa Fe to see a lot of the same things out of them and see if they can pull out this win here tonight.
You heard Lance Lowry talk about it, but this is something he's counting on, the conditioning of his team. He thinks they're a late third, fourth quarter team that can wear down the opponent. You think that can happen tonight?
I think it's a little bit tough now because as you look, you know, you're down on the scoreboard by, 8. And it feels good when you're up and you're able to run the football and get into your offensive scheme. But, you know, right now, it's you got a couple things that you're going to need to change. You're going to have to be able to uncork this Santa Fe defense that's been solid.
George Taylor with the kickoff and a short one at that. It's covered at the 41-yard line this time by Santa Fe. They will have the ball from there as
and that's
Byron Turner will cover it.
That's one thing you got to work on, right? You see Santa Fe has been in really good position on these kickoffs, whether it be big return or whether it be because they just haven't been able to get the ball deep enough. But they're starting on their 40, their side of the 40, and giving them an opportunity to flip the field here at the very least.
Was that an attempt at an onside kick there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that was just that was a water boy kick right there. So I don't know if that was.
Tyler Gentry, the quarterback, to start the second half. A wing to the top. Powell in the backfield. And Josiah's got it. And he runs into the wall, but bounces off of that. We'll pick up 3, maybe 4 in the play. And watch number 17. And he is very good at reaching his hands in there in St. Ledger and trying to pry the ball loose. He tried to do that on that first down play.
He did. Yeah, one guy gets there as the guy that holds him up, and the other guy's supposed to try to pry it loose. You see Ledger trying to just pry that ball loose himself on a solo tackle, but be careful. A lot of times what happens there is that you don't really make the tackle, and you let a guy break loose, and we've seen both number 3 and 4 for Santa Fe able to break for some big runs.
Malcolm Mariax is wide to the top. He is a threat. He has not touched the ball, though, so far in this contest. They're going to keep it on the ground again, and get it up to the 45-yard line, and that'll be at a gain of 1.5 yards on the play, and that's about it. Good job by the middle of that defense, as that time there's just a little bit there for Kiki Neal.
Yeah, 3rd down and 5 here, and, you come out and you run a couple of handoffs right up the middle. A nice job right there by Palatka, really shutting things down on those first 2 downs and putting Santa Fe into a 3rd and medium situation.
They've got some experience in that Palatka defensive line with Justin Fells, Tazarius Kemp, and also Mason Atkinson. And Mason is a guy that can play tight end as well, too. Just a sophomore, so there's a guy that really has to be conditioned. Third down, they're halfway home. They need 5 more with a wide out to either side. Gentry going to keep it, and he's going to get it to the 48-yard line, get undercut there. It'll be shy of the sticks by about 1.5 yards, maybe 2, and it'll be a 4th down situation.
Yeah, really good tackle right there by Clayton Shriver. It looked like Gentry had it, and sure enough, they're going to go for it here. It looked like he had it right there, but nice one-on-one, get him down low and get him on the ground.
Gutsy call here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, this is a big call. This could shift momentum. You see number 3, Josiah Powell, coming into the game. Let's be smart about it. Live and die with it. Hand the ball up the middle and let them take it.
Got a little wide at the top. It's Neal to the bottom. One back in the backfield now for Gentry, and that is Powell. Do you key on those two guys? We'll see what happens. 4th and 2 from the 48. It is Powell. He's got the gap. Pushes the Powell. Got across midfield, and hello, rugby. And the scrum is broken out.
Push it.
And they've got the first down. The contact was right at midfield, but he picks up the UF Health first down as he pushes the pile along with about 9 of his teammates for a first down.
See, that's what happens in the weight room. That's what happens in the offseason. You talked about it earlier, Randy, about, those moments in a game to where you have to perform and do the things that you did in that offseason program when you had to do that extra rep. When you form those bonds and you see his offensive linemen, they're not standing around. Look at all of them. We're going to rugby scrum this. And they're pushing that Palatka defense back and got that extra push and got the first down.
So the brotherly shove has the first down at the 48-yard line. Do you think we should keep that in especially high school football? I worry about somebody undercutting somebody and taking out a knee.
There's going to be some situations where somebody gets seriously hurt, whether it be pro, whether it be high school, or whether it be college, and they're going to have to get rid of it. Not a fan of it, but you know what? As long as it's legal now, it's a big weapon.
Whistles, and we're going to have a stoppage of action on the field. Timeout going to be taken by Santa Fe. Well, I remember the Hawthorne-Newberry game.
Oh, yeah.
A year ago when it came down to the brotherly shove by the squad from Newberry. We'll take a timeout here. 14-6, the tally in this one early in the second half. Get some chips and stick around for more football here on My 11. During the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Well, no red lights here. Green light's been flashing so far in this drive for the squad from Santa Fe as they've got the ball across midfield. A key 4th down conversion keeps this drive alive. 2 backs for Gentry this time. It is Neal. Turning on the speed, coming outside. Kiki kicks it down the sidelines, inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line, and speed kills again.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait to see. I mean, let me tell you something. Watch the cut. They're able to get Josiah Powell outside with the block up front, but then you see Kiki Neal takes it around that corner, and Powell leading out front. Well, watch this move here. Turns on the speed. Sorry. And just he stopped on a dime, got to the outside, and got himself big yards. It was a fantastic run, and this is when you have a nice 1-2 punch here. Call them thunder and lightning. Call them whatever you want to call them, but they're hard to defend when both backs are on the field.
Picks up 35 on the play. It's another GFL first down. Green today, green for life. 1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line. Neal to the left of Gentry, and it's Powell to the right. Each whisper into the quarterback's ear. I want the ball. I want the ball. Misdirection in the backfield. Neither of you get the ball. I keep it. Gentry maneuvers down to the 10-yard line. With that being said, with that run, the other thing is the good seal block to the outside. So you got to tip your cap to the offensive line, the likes of Ed Curry, Gavin Lawton, Tyler Seeley, Oscar Leon, and of course Samuel Lopez as well too.
Love a good shout out to the offensive line. They're doing a good job in there tonight. You know, Santa Fe has been really good on the ground. Haven't had to throw it around too much. Haven't been behind the chains. You know, a lot of those lost yardage plays forces you to get outside your game plan. If you're not used to throwing the ball around, you know, it can get really bad and forces turnovers and a lot of bad things could happen. But Santa Fe's done a really good job, not only field possession-wise, but just staying ahead of the sticks and being able to stay inside their game plan.
Inside the Call a Mattress red zone, deal so hot they built a fire station across the street. Second down, the ball just outside the 10-yard line. This time they'll go with a pair to the bottom of the formation, and the backs evenly split for Gentry. Coach is up here trying to get attention. And I don't think they got the play off in time. I think we'll have a delay of game. I saw the back judge with the hand going up in the air. And again, that's a 5-second warning when he sticks his hand up in the air like that. They didn't get it off in time. The coaches up here tried to warn them. The press box vibrated a little bit because they were pounding on the glass, letting them know that, hey, we're running out of time.
Yeah, I think I see my old one of the old Gators down there, Cooper Carlisle, who's calling some of the plays from the box that was banging on the window. So got to get that play off there.
Second down and long. Ball at the 16. The pump by Gentry, didn't see anything, so eats it himself and gets back to about the 15-yard line. We didn't see a whole lot of movement on the outside by the wideouts.
No, there wasn't a lot of movement. I think Gentry kind of pump faked it, and maybe it was a design run. Maybe they should have, sold out a little bit more. It didn't look like it was. Yeah, it looked like it was kind of one of those things where it was a little bit of mix. Offensive lineman going downfield, so maybe it was a design run, but it didn't work out very well. And we've seen Gentry do that a couple times tonight, where he was running, try to fake him out and try to take it up the middle. So, like I said, Randy, until he's a threat to throw that football, if I was Palatka, I'd be sending guys at him left and right.
This is a rapidly played third quarter, almost halfway through it already. Third down and long with the ball back at the 15-yard line. It's going to be Kiki to the outside, pushes the defender down, and gets inside the 7-yard line. Again, the phrase is run through contact. If there was a dictionary for that, you just saw the picture that go next to it.
Yeah, Kiki Neal, just not a huge guy. He's 5'8", 165 pounds, but he's playing big tonight. Obviously, the speed that comes behind that, but he sees a guy and just get out of the way. I'm trying to get to the end zone.
I'm working here. So now you got a fourth down and the ball resting just inside the 7-yard line. And let's see if they go for a field goal opportunity. Mason Steen on the season now has 9 extra points. He's 9 for 9, 2 for 2 on field goals, a long of 47. Looking to go 3 of 3 and make this one a 23-yarder. And by the way, Gentry is the holder. From the left hash, there's the snap. Plenty of leg. The kick is up, and it is good.
Man, that's a weapon, Randy.
He'll be playing on the next level.
He will.
23-yard field goal adds to the cushion. It's now 17-6. And this one is Steen is still keen and perfect from the field on his kicks. We'll take a break. A little more than halfway through quarter number 3, week number 4 of Friday Night Rivals right here on My 11. Folks, during the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the IBEW Local 1205 Player of the Game, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 1205, powering a brighter future. Future looks bright for Mr. Steen, does it not?
It looks really bright. I mean, the way he's able to kick the lights out of the sky out here. I mean, once again, it's a weapon to have. In the special team game, when you get inside the 40, this young man has a chance to really break your heart by breaking the goalpost. It's really a nice weapon to have.
And he is a junior, and this time, will he kick it into the end zone? He does. It's an automatic touchback. Although I saw a high school game a few years ago where they confused the soccer goal line with the football goal line, and I watched a kid take it back 104 yards for a touchdown.
Wow.
Which should not happen. Once you cross that goal line, the ball is dead. It's a touchback.
I mean, touchdown's a touchdown, Randy. Nobody remembers it.
I do.
Well, because it was a touchdown. That's why.
All right, so that man now has got some work to do with his team on offense, and Aiden Wills is his offensive coordinator as well, too. Last week against Providence, what they wanted to do is run for 300 yards a game. They got over 400 last week. That has been an issue here tonight, but you sense that they still are not in their offensive niche yet.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't really feel – you've seen moments of brilliance, right? And you see them talking to Tommy Alford right there, but you've seen moments of brilliance by this Palatka Panther football team, but they haven't been able to string it together. I don't know what it is, right? They're starting to they cross the 50-yard line, and then they start to ease their way down to the red zone. And we've seen some plays that have been kind of like mood killers, right? They don't have a kicking game, so they're going to have to go for it. And once they get inside that 30, it's almost like 4-down territory. But you're down 2 scores to a really good Santa Fe team tonight, who's been good offensively, but has been really underrated defensively. Defense has been a really good job running around to the ball, making plays. So if you're Palatka, this is an important drive because you don't want to go into the fourth quarter and go into red zone mode or red mode where you have to throw the ball around and you're not ready. You haven't done it a ton this season.
Well, the irony is we talk about what they need from the running game, how they scored tonight by the pass. That has been their lone talent in this contest, the pass to right. Ashley goes wide to the bottom of the set now. Offord. Going to hand it off? No, he's going to keep it and toss it into the flat. He's got right. Again, trying to get that guy in space. And he got dumped out of bounds along the far side of the field, but makes a nice gain on the play.
Yeah, Wright has been about 95% of their offense. I mean, you had a couple of runs from different people, but, getting the ball in his hands, and, this is kind of what we talked about, is that when the ball is in his hands, a lot of good things happen. It has good acceleration speed, but the last thing you want to do is, focus on him because Santa Fe will eventually start to highlight him and him only, and somebody else is going to have to beat you.
Well, yeah, guys like Justin Fells can beat you to death, and you've got speed, too, in Jawan Phillips, who hasn't been a factor yet in this contest, but may. 1st and 10 now, mark it at the 34. Again, a triad in the backfield with Offord. He will keep it. He's got a gap. He's got the seam to the 40. And to midfield, and to the 40, and he's got that speed. Second fastest in the state, it looks like, down the sidelines. Did he get into the end zone?
Number 2 on the keeper around the left side.
Yes, he did for a touchdown. He takes it the distance for the score, but there's a flag on the play. He goes 36 yards, and it's coming back.
Goodness gracious. You got a feel for him.
Talk about wind out of the sails.
Oh my goodness! And Randy, that wasn't 36 yards. That was 36. That was 66 yards. He came on the other side, and when he took that up that seam, he's got that nice, smooth, fluid speed. And you see right there, we talked about speed. You see Kiki Neal able to try to chase him down and wasn't able to get to him. So you can tell when he gets into that open field, like there's good things that can happen. But this is the second time that we see something called back because of it.
So we'll mark it back to the 48-yard line. And we'll change quarterbacks as well, too, after that long run. McKinley's in there. He's going to try to turn the corner, and there is nothing there. So was that to give Offord a chance to get a little rest along the sidelines for player 2?
Yeah, you break a 66-yard run, and you get it called back. It's almost like demoralizing. It takes the wind out of your sails, literally, not to mention the wind's out of your lungs from running so fast. So you can see not the same kind of runner. So you want to see Tommy Offord back in the game if you're Palatka to be able to give you the chance to take the top off the defense.
A lot of subs in and out, and finally Offord's coming in. McKinley left the field about 10 seconds ago. There's no quarterback out there. Now he's out there. And the time running down here to get this play off. They lost about a yard on the play. Second down, back at the 46-yard line. They snap it. It's Offord. Nothing to the right and brought down. Great penetration that time by big number 24 coming through, and that was Markel Johnson to make the hit on the play.
Yeah, Johnson, we called his name a couple times tonight and sealed that edge and learned from the mistakes of what happened on that, 2 plays before where Tommy Offord was able to turn it up and they take it for a touchdown, but obviously called back. But, Santa Fe's doing a good job. They fooled me once, shame on me. Fooled me twice, shame on you. So I haven't been able to fool them twice on these back-to-back plays. Had some stuff rolled out and, hit that first touchdown in the first quarter. But haven't seen it again just because they've been able to defend this really well and that defense has stepped up.
So Markel Johnson makes the hit, forces a 3rd down and 10. They're going right to the outside, and he's going to try to turn the corner, but he runs out of real estate. The field's not wide enough for him. He's going to go out at around the 50-yard line. So you're looking at a 4th down here. You probably need close to about 7 yards. At midfield, do you go for it?
I feel like I feel like you need to. I think Santa Fe has done such a good job on offensive ball control. You got 3 minutes and 53 seconds left in this third quarter. You got to make something happen at this point, right? Because who knows how many more possessions you got if you're Palatka, especially with the way Santa Fe's been playing in the run game.
So the sense of urgency forces them to show an offensive set on a 4th down and just about 7. Offord from the gun. Looking left. Gunning downfield. One-on-one coverage. No, 2 covered guys on right, and the pass knocked away. Wright had double coverage on the play, and it goes back now to Santa Fe at midfield.
Yeah, that was an excellent play. 21, Elon James right there. You see number 4, the 24, Markel Johnson making another play on that ball. And this Santa Fe team, we saw what they did. They put up a couple 50 spots here, 50 burgers in the first couple weeks of the season. But this defense has been sneaky, sneaky good, Randy, and they will continue to be all season.
Yeah, they still have that hefty appetite you're talking about. Zarephath Academy, they beat 55-14, but Santa Fe had 12 tackles for a loss and 8 sacks in that game. Oof. And 3 defensive touchdowns, 2 interception returns, and 1 fumble return.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
There you go. And against Harvest Community, 50-0. They had 6 rushing touchdowns, 11 tackles for a loss, and 9 sacks. So the offense and defense dancing that marriage dance together. The handoff on the first down play to Powell, nothing there. Gets back to the line of scrimmage maybe, and that's it before he's knocked down on the play by Lawrence Evans.
Yeah, Evans able to get back there and penetrate, and probably the first lost yardage play that we've seen tonight for no game. Very few no yardage or lost yardage plays for Santa Fe in the run game tonight. So nice job there by Evans for Palatka.
But if nothing else, you drain that clock even more, too.
That's exactly right. I mean, your time is not your friend if you're Palatka. You have to be able to force something, maybe a turnover. And that's the one thing we haven't seen here tonight is a turnover, right? Maybe this is a time, if you're Palatka, to try to strip that ball. We saw, plenty of guys. We saw number 17, Zane Ledger, trying to go for that ball. This opportune time for a turnover.
Going to go with a triad to the bottom of the formation now. Only Powell in the backfield with Gentry. Josiah's got the hand up and slipped down. He had an opening diagonally out that right-hand side, but just tripped down at the 50-yard line for a short gain on the play.
A funny little gopher, that little grass monster caught his cleat and was going for a big gain right there. Was going to at least get 5 or 6 yards off that right side, tripped and made a very minimal gain.
You see that sigh of a running back that knew he had an opening and couldn't convert.
And this is the thing. I mean, Santa Fe, they're not going to move quick. They don't have to. Randy, you just alluded to it. Listen, they can slow this thing down, try to milk it into the 4th quarter, kick the ball away, and play good defense. I mean, Palatka, for all intents and purposes, has to be able to find something to do against his defense before Santa Fe has to worry about what happens on offense.
3rd down and 9. Quick pop, pass is knocked down on the play. Big number 11 thought he had, almost a fumble recovery, almost caught it on the fly. That's Justin Fells, the big defensive end.
That would have been exactly the turnover we were talking about had he intercepted that ball. I mean, he was all in this space. There was no way that was getting over Fells right there, and they just kind of let him free. Well, somebody was supposed to block him, but it got around him, got up in the air, and got that ball knocked to the ground, almost picked it off.
Fells is 6'3", 230, a senior, and he runs are you ready? 4.640.
Ooh.
Almost as fast as you.
Not quite. Not quite.
To be first in line at Sonny's?
Maybe.
Steen with the high arcing kick. And they're going to let it bounce at the 20, inside the 15. Boy, that is a Cardinal sin.
Oh, what a bounce there.
Inside the 10 near the 7-yard line. So we talk about the fact that, you try to milk that clock. And now, if you're Palatka, you're down by 11 and you got a long field to traverse with very little time left in the 3rd.
Yeah, now it's time to start getting with the rollouts and chucking up the ball a little bit, getting some stuff out on the edge. Because your run game has been good tonight. And, you've had some really, some big plays. You're once again against the clock. It's you against the clock. At Santa Fe, you got to be able to uncork that defense. But then again, you got the clock that's going to really run down with only 1:52 left in the 3rd quarter, and you're going to be with 2 scores behind.
So Offord in at quarterback with the inverted bone. Going to hand it off. There's a little opening up the middle. And it closes rapidly. A trio of Raiders ready to come away with everything, including the football, as it's stripped away. It is time to raise the roof, fans, with Mission Metals. Mission Metals, your trusted hometown metal roofing and metal building supplier, right here on Friday Night Rivals. They would like to raise the roof offensively right now if they're Palatka, because they need something to get that chimney And that fire burning in the fireplace to get him chugging downfield here.
And you can't, they're not moving very quick. You think you got all the time in the world, but you're not world beaters on offense. You don't have that spread offense that's getting you up and down the field. You've been very methodical and don't have a lot of time left here.
Little toss to the outside. There's some real estate this time. Staying in the sidelines and then just barely tripped up at the 28-yard line. But falling forward for more yardage on the play is right. He's got a first down.
God, Randy, I like that guy. I mean, the way he's able to get to the edge, and I feel like we may be looking at him breaking up that right sideline. Santa Fe can't contain him, right? And they know it's coming. He's been the guy that's hurt him the most here. They've been able to take the pitch guy, and when you got two guys that are fast like that, yeah, you got to be able to pick your poison. But number 21 has done a lot of damage to you, gotten some really big yards. It's not time to start taking him.
But question, why does it always seem to be to the short side of the field?
It might have found a weakness over there, all right? Being able to, just formation-wise, having extra blockers, that's what it kind of looks like.
Or the strength of your offensive line, as we see it on this play, a big gapper that time, all the way up to the 48-yard line, as Lawrence Evans with the carry. And we were talking about wearing down your opponent. That's something that Coach Lowry was talking about. Maybe they're turning that over and getting that chance to wear down that Santa Fe defense as we have another UF Health first down in the waning moments of quarter number 3.
Yeah, it's a nice drive for Palatka. We talked about them moving quickly, these big chunks of yards. This definitely will help them out.
1st and 10 from the 49. On the ground, nothing there this time. Great job by the middle of that defense to stand it up. As right is wrong. Big number 50 on the play. As you saw Zachary Perez helping to make the hit on that play. Big shout out to Bounds Heating and Air. Experience the highest quality of comfort. Bounds Heating and Air. And boy, do we need air.
Boy, we're getting some air. Some nice football weather out here tonight. And we're about to take it into a hot fourth quarter where Santa Fe is playing a very, very nice game here tonight. And Palatka's looking to take over.
Palatka is driving. They're halfway home at the 50-yard line. Can they get the payoff? They're 2-0 on the season as Santa Fe. Palatka is looking for that victory to get to 500. What will happen? We'll find out together in the fourth quarter. It's the IBEW Local 1205 Friday Night Rivals presented by Radiant Credit Union in one place on My 11.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have a little greeting here on this play. Take a look at this. Coming back with the return. And, there is your stop of the game. Mr. Taylor, meet Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, meet Mr. Taylor.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
I'll tell you what, there has been a ton of hard hitting out there, and that kick return was one of them. George Taylor thought he had an opening, but Markel Johnson has been a missile out there on defense.
Yeah, he hit the up on the right stick and said that ain't happening. So nice job by Johnson, able to really make a nice stop.
And there's a gap on this play right up the middle, inside the 35-yard line, all the way down to around the 33. As Evans on the carry there with a big first down.
Yeah, this is as deep as we've seen Palatka since probably around the first quarter. So maybe that adage is true. Talk about wearing this team down, wearing them down up front. I guess if you keep hitting at that wall, eventually it's going to crack.
So they've gone from the Skittles package back to the power package now, it looks like, as Evans and company able to move the ball inside the 35-yard line and get a first down there. Mark it officially at the 33. For Tommy Offord and company, the 4-year starter. Misdirection in the backfield. He keeps it. Can he get to the outside? Tries to turn the corner, but the pursuit is there. I thought he needed one more block to get to the outside, but that time the stop is made on the play by Neal.
Yeah, and Alford almost got to the corner and didn't need the block. I mean, it's just that speed, that subtle speed by Alford and what we've seen out of him tonight and what we've seen also out of KJ Wright Jr. Just look how smooth he is, able to kind of get there, and then all of a sudden it's just, kind of a bigger guy, not a small guy, but almost able to break a tackle, got his legs, and he gets up that right sideline. That's a wrap.
Needs a couple after a nice gain of 8 on that first down play inside the 27. Oh, can he go back to the other side? He does. He reverses his field. Look at Offord go. And he's going to get what he can and exit stage left right inside the 20-yard line.
There's a guy that can run with him, Kamarion Neal, able to kind of run next to him and make sure that reverse didn't turn into a highlight play that might end up on the Thursday night, Friday night Rivals broadcast next week.
The phraseology I was thinking of, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. And that's what he does here. He wins the battle, goes to the outside, says, I'll just take what I can and head out.
That's a smart move, you know. You got more downs. No need to take unnecessary hits. You can find another play.
Another UF Health first down at the 20-yard line. Hand off right side. There's a gap, and that is right down inside the 16-yard line for a nice gain there on first down, keeping the ball moving, trying to find those gaps in the openings and try to get into that red zone and make something happen.
Talk about it, Randy. Like, this game is going by super quick. This game there's been less time, so there's been, it hasn't been a lot of breathers in between these guys. I mean, it's a very physical football game, a lot of running going on. So, you can only expect that both these teams, both defenses are a little bit tired, and you're going to start to see these offenses running it up a little bit more.
Just about halfway home to move the sticks again. It is Offord with a stiff arm, pushes away one. Look at the glide. Woo, inside and in, untouched in the last 10 yards for the touchdown.
Phew, how sweet was that to be able to fake the pitch as well? Just he found his spot. He was very patient, and that gliding speed that we talk about with Tommy Offord, and we saw it, and we said, hey, listen, I was only going to take a crevice or a crease for him to get in the middle. You're going to see him. Here it is, and nope. And just puts his foot in the ground, turns it up, and nobody touches him to the end zone for 6 points.
Crevice actually plays on defense for the other team.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now what do you do now? It's 17-12. I assume you go for two?
Yeah, you're going for two, right? And you're going to keep the ball in Offord's hands. Or maybe not.
Nope, direct snap, and there's... Okay, we're going to play scrum and rugby again. Do we break the plane? Do we get into the end zone?
Yes,
they do. Newberry would love it. They get the 2-point conversion and cut it to 17-14.
Man, oh man. So I guess we're going to be in store for a big one.
17-14. Home stretch we go, and this is a ball game in week number 4. Stick around for more Friday Night Rivals right here on My 11. We have a ball game. That man led his team down the field and took it in some 16 yards for a touchdown and Fells with a 2-point conversion. And now it's 17-14. And if you interview him, that's about all he would say, too. Yeah. He is a quiet leader, and he does his work on the field. And my goodness, what a job they have done. So now George Taylor's got it teed up, and he will have the honors. Do you kick it deep? Do you kick it short? What do you try to do here?
Well, I think they've tried to kick it deep, right? I think you're going to probably see kind of a squibbish kick coming out of them. So, if you're Santa Fe, recover it, get on it, try to get as many yards as you can and play some offense.
And a whistle, and did we have a little faux pas there? I think we did. We may have to kick this one again.
Yeah, it might have been offsides on the kicking team there.
So with the encroachment, no time should have come off the clock because the whistle blew immediately. So the encroachment will march it back 5. And we'll kick it again for the 35.
And you got to figure, you got to get something into this kick. You don't want to give this ball to Santa Fe on their side of 50, and do what they've done here tonight. You want to kick this ball a little deeper, try to attempt to roll it past those receivers back there. Just something that's going to be able to put your defense in a good position that it doesn't put Santa Fe really close to midfield.
Well, the deep guys aren't. They're at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they're short. They're not deep.
And it's a line drive kick.
That's
and it's
what you
through
needed.
the 5-hole. What a perfect kick for Taylor. Inside the 5 is where it's scooped up. And not a whole lot of room, but look at the cutback move this time to the far side of the field. But the pursuit, can they get him? Not until he gets up near the 40-yard line. What a great reversal that time by Kiki Neal, as Neal found the gap and then reversed his field. And so many times when that happens, like on a punt or a kick return, if you don't field it cleanly, your blocks have a chance to establish, and you can make something of it.
And that's exactly what happened. It's like when things get out of thing, and this is always the old adage, when you're on a kickoff team and you always hear the coach screaming, stay in your lanes, stay in your lanes. stay in your lanes means stay in your lanes. I mean, those guys are covering a lane for a reason, so it prevents stuff like this. It prevents a guy from cutting back across the grain to find a big opening and getting up the sideline for a big game like this.
Nice 35-yard return. We have a player down along the far side of the field right now for Santa Fe being attended to. I wonder if that's Neal. I think it might be Kiki. It could be perhaps a cramping situation.
That's what it looks like. Yep. You know, he's been running around pretty definitely all night there, Randy. I think he's finally caught up with him a little bit. And, you know, we're at a point of stage where it's a little bit cooler outside. And, you know, these guys have been playing for a couple weeks, so he's good. But, you know, he's been their firecracker tonight and their fire starter.
All right, what did you do to prevent cramping when you had to play in the heat?
You know, played in the swamp, and that was really tough. Obviously played in Tampa as well. You know, you have to drink before the game. The hydration starts days before the game.
Right.
To make sure that you don't get to the game day and you're already dehydrated. Because that's a lot of times what happens. When your body's already started to sweat and your body's already started to be, you know, get to that point of dehydration, trying to catch it back up is never a thing.
I was told bananas, too. Bananas every day.
Pickle juice. Yeah, a lot of remedies can help you. Anything with extra salt or potassium is always a good thing.
So Gentry has work to do to get some momentum going for his offense and eat more of that clock. They're up by 3. He's got him 1st and 10 from the 39. The quick pop in the flat. Powell catches it with one hand. The pursuit is there. He's not going anywhere. Great job defensively by Palatka. And one of the first guys to come sauntering through there was Delvin Dallas, the linebacker.
Yeah, nice job by Dallas of really chasing that down and getting there. He did a better job by catching that ball, Josiah Powell. That thing was kind of tossed a little bit behind him. So he was able to catch that with one arm and got what he could out of it. But, you know, nice job by Palatka and stopping Santa Fe on that first down there.
So DD with the stop. That comes from RR up here alongside SS. Glad to have you aboard in week number 4. 2nd down and long. Need almost a dozen now. And 2 backs in the backfield. That's Neal and Powell. And is kept on the play by Gentry. Oh, he got whipped down on the play. Big hit by big number 56. That is Tavarius Kemp, who just bent him in half.
Yeah, Kemp, nose guard, 5'8", 260, every bit of it, right? Loaded the ground and holding the point of attack right there, but able to get there and make a nice tackle and putting Santa Fe in now what's been has been a rarity tonight. Haven't seen them in 3rd and long situations pretty much most of the night, but now they're going to have to do something that they haven't had to do all night, Randy, is probably throw the football.
Well, he got a wide out to the top, has proved his mitt already, and Dontre Little, number 6, he's got company up there. He's got a touchdown catch, 4 wide this time, only 1 back in the backfield for Gentry. Straight back to throw. He's got a gap. He thinks about it, but he's not going anywhere. Again, that number 56.
Is that a face mask?
We'll see. And there's a late
face
flag.
Mask. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What a killer. And then what an excellent move right there by number 56 to Zarius Kemp. And got his hand up in that face mask. And what turned out to be a great 2 plays for him has turned into a disaster play. By getting his hand in that face mask and giving him free 1st down.
I mean, you reach for whatever you can get to tackle the guy, and that was the scenario there. He got the face mask, and the thing was, too, he couldn't dislodge his hand from it, so it made it pretty obvious. Yeah,
yeah, helmet came off and everything, so that was kind of egregious that, you know, the ref had to call that one. But, you know, kind of that really is a downer for that Palatka team, which had stopped Santa Fe on 3 consecutive downs.
See if they grind it out again. It'll be Neal around the left side. He'll pick up a yard or 2. That's about it. Good pursuit again. Number 26 there to help make the play, and that's Dallas.
And you can start to ride this out a little bit, right? You can kind of freeze them up. You're going to force Palatka to go the distance, right? Because, you know, a field goal, Palatka struggled tonight. You're in a 3-point game. Force them to go to long field and try to be able to get some points up on the board, because right now, you know, Santa Fe is just going to bleed the clock. They don't have to do anything silly. They don't have to do anything special. Just be who they are.
Pick up about 12 inches on the play. It'll be 2nd down and a long 9. It's Powell. He accelerates. He bursts into contact and gets it all the way down to the 43, maybe the 42-yard line. Again, you run into contact and you accelerate. That's when you kick it up a notch. That's exactly what Josiah Powell did on that play. Down to actually, they're going to mark it at the 41.
Defenders hate that, too. They hate when you get there and you have to hit them over and over. Even if you're laying licks on them, eventually defenders have to make business decisions, Randy, and they don't want to hit you all the time.
Is it Powell time again? And is it 4-down territory? It's Powell. He's going to bounce it outside. He's got the 1st down. Rumbles down to inside the 37-yard line, maybe the 36. And again, The sands of time going through that hourglass, ticking away right now for Palatka's defense. Under 7 minutes left to go, and they're down by 3.
Santa Fe didn't have that kind of guy last year. They didn't have a guy that could move the chains. They didn't have an offensive line that could probably get them through the line of scrimmage last year.
They did.
To be able to see this and to be able to see them break through and being able to see them to be able to get these first downs in crunch time, different Santa Fe team.
Timeout taken on the field. As they step aside, so will we. It's come down to this in the fourth quarter. Stick around for the conclusion of week number 4 of Friday Night Rivals in one place right here on My 11. .6:42 left to go in regulation in this one. 17-14. Santa Fe on top with the football. They come in with a mark of 2-0. The question was, how many times were they tested in the first couple of weeks? We didn't know about the strength of their opponent. For Palatka, they came in at 1-2 on the campaign. We knew about the strength of some of their opponents, so we figured it would be a competitive game. And Shannon, it's lived up to the pregame hype.
Yeah, this has been a great game. Love seeing both teams get after it tonight. Been some good plays, some bad plays on both sides. We'll see how this game ends up playing out.
Inside the 38 of Palatka, first down and 10. Is it Powell time? Yeah, sure. 35, 30, 29-yard line, and that's what you love. That scenario to be second and short.
Listen, Randy, you said it best. I mean, you love watching that, and he's just eating away at this defense. And you know, this is what we've seen out of Santa Fe tonight, is that hard, tough-nosed run-in. This is Powell. This is who he is. Able to get those big yards. It takes 2 guys to bring them down. You're seeing now people are making business decisions saying, man, I don't want to hit this guy again. And he's just getting these little chunks and these little yards that are making it second and third and short.
Josiah Powell with the emphasis on the Powell. Second down and short now from the 29-yard line. Do you feed him again? He's hungry. He gets it, and he's going to fight and get another first down to the 25-yard line. The sidestep so effective that time.
I mean, he's just getting better the more carries he gets. I mean, and if you're Ernest Graham, who's a former running back, he knows the value of having a guy that can move the chains like he did, you know, like 25 years ago. That's a guy that's a game changer. And sure enough, when you have to ice the game, you know, 5:42 left, he's the guy that's getting it done.
Another GFL first down. Ernest Graham, county and state records in high school football, 5,710 yards, 86 touchdowns. He knows how to carry that football from the 25, and now milking the clock. Gentry waiting till the back judge lifts the hand for 5 seconds left in the count. Showing blitz, they're coming. But Powell's going the opposite way. Can he cut it back? He gets it inside the 22, maybe the 21, but again, the sheer effort falling forward gets him almost half the yardage they needed.
Yeah, if you're Palatka, you have to start thinking about at some point of using those timeouts. I mean, just to save yourself some time on this clock. You haven't been able to throw the ball around a whole lot tonight, but, you know, by the time you get this ball back, Sands, if Santa Fe doesn't score with this, you're going to have about 2 minutes and some change at the very best. So got to start thinking about, hey, when are you going to use your timeouts and what you're going to keep?
Carl Harmon, the offensive coordinator, helping to get the information into Gentry. What a job he's done running this team. Actually, he and Whitesides have both complemented each other very well. Whitesides has a touchdown pass. Handoff. When does Powell get tired? He's brought down inside the 20, inside the 18-yard line. It'll be third down and short from there, and the clock just continues to vaporize down to 4:19 left to go.
You got to think that's about 6 or 7 straight rushes for Josiah Powell right there, but this is the bell cow. We've seen a lot of Kiki Neal tonight, and we've seen a lot of Josiah Powell, but you see in crunch time who they're turning to. They're turning to number 3 and just handing the ball off to them, letting them make things happen.
So we talked about the battle of attrition. It could be that the team from Santa Fe gets the last laugh in that category. Here we go. Third down, and they need about 4. Hand goes up by the back judge, then they snap it. Evans there to make the hit. They won't get the first down. It'll be fourth down.
But yeah, Lawrence Evans doing just an excellent job tonight. We've called his name a bunch of times, but kind of a run blitz where he kind of came down the line, penetrated into the backfield, and got Powell down on the ground. He's been a special player tonight for that Palatka defense.
And if you're on defense for Palatka, this is where you're getting the speech right now to try to hold so you can get that ball back for one last gasp, one last opportunity to get that either tying or perhaps winning score. And if you're Santa Fe, what are you thinking about as your options here?
You know what? If you're Santa Fe, you're going for this. This game is over with if Santa Fe can score, if Santa Fe can get this first down, conceivably. You know, I don't think there's any value of going in and kicking a field goal, just because if you're Palatka, you're going to try to go score anyway. You've had some issues on special teams. So it's going to be 4-down territory no matter really where you're at on the field. So instead of saying, hey, listen, we're going to kick the ball away or go for 3, and no, I think this is a winning situation for them. They want to keep the ball in their offense's hands, and they want to walk off the field with offense still on the field.
Are you surprised to see a team turn it around this fast, considering they were 2-37 in the last 4 seasons, had not put 2 wins together since 2019?
Randy, I mean, it was ineptness in this program, and there was really no hope. I mean, and I'm not trying to say that to be insulting, but I just, you know, every game it was, you know, lost somehow or some way or getting blown out, and then all of a sudden you got a guy like Ernest Graham coming in and injecting this life. It's got to feel good if you're Santa Fe in this community.
Number 3 needs 2 yards. We had motion
They
up
got
front.
him.
Did they violate the neutral zone?
They got him.
If it's encroachment, look out. The locals will be happy. It is.
It is a first down. They got him.
And again, they encroach. There is no such thing as offside in high school football. Just so you know, once you violate that neutral zone, it's like bowling with Shannon. If he goes across and the buzzer goes off, the play is dead before anything can happen. So the encroachment is the gift first down, and a great job that time by Santa Fe to move the sticks and get that first down inside the 12.
How about that? We hadn't seen that tonight, and Santa Fe had been in that shotgun with the clap, and sure enough, we see a really nice job by Gentry with the loud clap and somebody jumping off sides. And you saw enough Josiah Powell. You had to try to get an advantage, and sure enough, it cost them.
First down and 10 from the 11. Powell time? Yep. Runs into his own blocker, and then the pile pushes forward inside the 7-yard line.
And if you're Palatka, you got to start burning those timeouts. You got to leave your offense, even in under 2-minute situations when you optimally should start burning them. But, you know, you got to leave your offense something on the field, because you won't expect to see Santa Fe put this ball in the air. They're going to try to run this down and then maybe kick the field goal at that point in time.
And again, if you're on defense, you want to help up everybody in the world as rapidly as you can, too, to get them back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there's no reason for Santa Fe to rush this at all. The time is their best friend right now.
And again, your pack judge is Antoine Jilks. He will put that hand in the air just to let you know when that count is close, so you can drain as much of the clock as you possibly can. And look at this. Look at this formation now.
They're about to throw that flag.
Did they burn a timeout? There's no quarterback in there. They have Neal and they have Powell back there in the backfield. So they're going to go with a direct snap, but instead they burn a timeout. Seems like an unusual time to go with a different kind of look like that.
Yeah, it was. It was, you know, obviously you knew what you were getting when you saw Josiah Powell in, and they were starting to crash in the middle a little bit. So when you put both, you put Kiki Neal in there. You may get Kiki Neal to be able to take it to the outside. You get a different pack, a different formation, a different look.
And they didn't get the timeout in time, so instead they are assessed a delay of game penalty. And now are they going to burn a timeout? Yeah, now they'll burn a timeout.
That was kind of weird. All right.
Yeah, so they'll discuss it. I go back to the KISS philosophy there. You know, keep it simple. Shannon.
Simple, silly.
Shannon.
Keep it silly, Shannon. You can add a couple things in there. But, yeah, you're right. It's, you know, I think Santa Fe has done, first of all, let's just talk about what they've done offensively tonight. And, you know, anybody that's watched the Santa Fe game here over the last couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years, realizes this is a different team. So, you know, and to face a district rival in the Palatka Panthers, and to really kind of come out here and put together this kind of game plan in such a short amount of time, like you talked about, Randy, is something special. All right, and these fans, you can see them. That normally these stands were empty by the time of the game, right? By the 48-10, the butt whooping that Palatka gave them last year. It's a little bit different.
And partners, we have to let you know right now that it's country night here. That's why they're all wearing their cowboy hats tonight. So
I forgot my Spurs at home.
There you go.
I forgot my Spurs at home.
Hey, I go back to Roy Rogers. Tells you how old I am. So we want to let you know that next week we are going to replay one of our great games from earlier this season. It's going to be the Newberry Hawthorne Classic, and you'll enjoy that game in week number 5 for us. But we'll be back the following week and the rest of the season with live games. Check that replay out next Friday night. All right, they're going to keep it on the ground. Look at this.
Ooh, sweet dreams.
Kiki with the killer.
Sweet dreams.
Add the LLER to the end of Kiki, and there's your Radiant Credit Union touchdown. It is probably the icing on the cake.
Listen, that's the formation that we were just talking about. They were looking to get into it, and they were trying to run it down when they were close to the goal line, is that they knew what they wanted to run. They said, hey, this is the trick that we had. You see Josiah Powell able to come around. You had enough of him, so he's coming around as a blocker this time, and all of a sudden here comes Lightning, and Lightning being number 4, Kiki Neal, into the end zone, which was going to be the game-winning touchdown.
So it was worth the wait.
It was worth the wait, every part of it.
Extra point time now for Mayor Steen to make it a 10-point cushion. Snap, kick, leg goes in the next county, and it is good. So the margin now is 10 at 24-14 as Mayor Steen comes through, and he is still perfect, by the way, on the season when you add it up. What's he done now? He's 10 of 10 on extra points, and he's 3 of 3 on field goals.
That's a weapon. That's a guy that that's understood the assignment. Every time he's been called on, he's been able to deliver, and he's also a big reason why Santa Fe is headed to that big 3-0 mark.
All right, let's flip this around right now. If you're Palatka, what do you hope to do now? Down by 10, you got the ball with 2:26 left.
It's panic time, right? You're down 2 scores, and you're now having to throw the ball. I mean, I understand what you've done in the option game and running, and you've done a really good job here, but with 2 minutes left and only 2 timeouts, or 2 minutes and 30 seconds left and two timeouts, you got to pray for a miracle. You got to get on the ball. You got to move this thing. Try to get these first downs and get out of bounds, and try to get a quick score and get yourself prepared maybe for an onside kick.
Time again for another Sky Frog tree service kickoff. Sky Frog, stay motivated. So, again, if this is Mr. Steen, are you keen on kicking it to the end zone again if you can?
Yeah, you probably need to. You don't want to put the ball in. You don't want to put the ball in Tommy Alford's hands. I mean, he's done a really good job of. That first kickoff of the game almost was a touchdown, right? Ran that back, but got called back because of a penalty. So you don't want to give him a chance.
A high angular short kick, and it's going to head out of bounds. So no time should come off the clock, and no return as well too. So they'll get the ball back, and boy, we have to pick a player of the game. I tell you what, there's a flag on the play, and that's because the ball was kicked out of bounds. But Neal and Powell have been a great 1-2 punch tonight for Santa Fe, have they not?
They have. If I was to edge one way or another, obviously Kiki Neal has been fantastic. That speed of his, being able to turn it on, and that last touchdown, getting around to the edge. You know what? We got to give Josiah Powell not only credit for what he's done in the run game, because he's been really special there, but how about his blocking on the edge?
Yes.
Being able to be a dual threat right there. That's why you see why he has offers. And a lot of times coaches know that there's guys around the country that can run the football, but it's those guys that do the extra that are getting those calls and getting those scholarship offers.
Well, remember, too, that Powell comes from a family where his dad was a great football player, too, and he's got 3 brothers that are excellent athletes. Oh, by the way, his dad is also the defensive coordinator on this team, too. So Alford and company with their back against the wall. They're going to hand it off, and not a whole lot there. They'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe, and that's about it. The handoff that time went to Juwan Phillips. Phillips has got breakaway speed, but he's got to get an opening, and the guy who likes math and actually started playing football, he was encouraged to and found out he loves it. Now he doesn't want to give it up.
But a little bit of a head scratcher right there. You got 2 minutes left, and it pretty much drained about 30 seconds off that. This is what you want to see.
Here's Alford outside.
This is what you want to see.
To the 40, to the 30, and he will march out of bounds with still time left in this contest and on the short side of the 50.
That's where the ball needs to be. You need to have the ball in the hands of number 2 or in the hands of number 21. If those 2 guys aren't touching the ball, you shouldn't be running it.
So first down and 10 from the 26, under 2 minutes left to go. Again, the inverted bone. They're going to hand it off again off the left-hand side, and not a whole lot there, right into the teeth of the defense. There's Phillips on the carry again. Do you burn a timeout here?
Yeah, you might need to. I mean, I think there's a little bit of hard-headedness, like, hey, we're going to continue to run this football, but you're going to have to toss this thing up in the air. You're you're a minute and 30 seconds away from this game being over with, and you still got two timeouts sitting in your lap.
Well, you know that KJ Wright has that speed. He's got a touchdown catch, but he's going to start in the backfield. Nobody to the right side. A miscommunication, so Offord's going to keep it, make what he can. Does he get out of bounds? No, he does not. He stays in bounds. But again, he looked to his right, Shannon, and there was nobody there.
No, that's another thing. It seems like they were just on a different page. They didn't know who was going to the right. Looks like it was supposed to be an option to the right, but all of a sudden he had to turn around because it went the wrong way.
And they'll take a timeout. As we approach the 1 minute mark left to go in this contest, they will take a timeout and regroup. And not only do you have to try to come up with a score here, but you also need to get the ball back and try again to score. And again, with the difference in kicking games, it's not like you can just kind of say, okay, well, maybe we can consider field goal if we get close and we stop. They're not in that scenario right now. They don't have that kind of leg.
No, they don't. They have to score. They have to score here. And they have to do it relatively quickly, Randy. And maybe even at this point, hope for an onside kick. Now, the good news is that your kicker isn't really a kicker, right? He hasn't been able to boot it through. He's had some knuckleballs that have been able to be, hit off of a couple defenders, and they scooted past a couple of guys. So you have an opportunity, if you can get a score here, to maybe get the ball back.
May I say it's been a pleasure to work with you tonight, Dustin and the great crew, because I'm a guy that's been on the sidelines. I had 40 years upstairs here, but the last 3 have been on the sidelines. So it's kind of hard to get on that horse for one game like this and come up here. But after the first quarter, I think I found a niche to work with you, and you guys have made it great. And I get to really appreciate, I think you all do at home, the great job that Jeff Cardozo does each and every week. So thank you for making it so special, guys.
Of course, Randy. We love you, man. You do such a wonderful job. Very professional.
Looking to his left. He's got a man in the end zone. Does he catch it on the bobble? Touchdown.
He got it. Woo. That's what you needed.
What a catch.
What a catch. That was a catch.
As it pulled in that time in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, look, the one time that you kind of chuck it out there and you hope for something, you sure enough get it. So,
So in for the touchdown. And now you want that extra point, or do you go for 2 here? I think you go for 2.
I think you go for 2, right? You want to go for 2 here just because at the end of the day you need to try to figure out a way that maybe even a field goal does win.
And folks, if you're wondering, there's no number 80 on their roster, so it's Fells who's looking for the gap, trying to do that scrum move inside, but Santa Fe says nothing doing. So now this puts you in a scenario where your kicking game's not going to be enough. You need another touchdown if you want to win this contest. And I have to bet the world that we're going to see an onside kick.
Yeah, that's coming, right? And, have they practiced this? You don't really have, a guy that's experienced in kicking. Have you practiced this enough times to be able to be proficient at getting that ball up in the air and getting your defenders in the right position to try to recover this before Santa Fe gets on top of it?
But tip of the cap to Tommy Offord. This is a guy that does not stop, doesn't quit, and he can make things happen. You talked about Wright. He and Offord a great 1-2 punch, and with that they get the touchdown. And now it's 24-20 in this contest.
Yeah, 24-20, and you know what, Randy? Here we are, the final hurrah. It's been such a great game tonight between Santa Fe and Palatka, and it comes down to this. Who would have thought it was going to come down to an onside kick from Palatka to Santa Fe, who's leading in this football game? And we talked about this, and we hype it up, and you never know how it plays out on paper until it actually plays out on the field. And it's just been a really a fantastic game tonight between both teams, and both have a lot to be proud of and hold their heads up about.
I was gone, and I checked. Jalen Thomas now has that jersey on, and that's who made the touchdown catch. So Thomas with the touchdown, and now the onside kick goes back to Santa Fe, and now you get religious and just take a knee.
The best play in football, Randy. If you're an offense and you're up, the best play in football is take a knee, and Santa Fe walks out of here as the champions of not being a loser to the Palatka Panthers. They've taken so many L's to them. And you know what? When was the last time that Santa Fe has started 3-0? When was the last time that this team has started 3-0? Listen, this was a team that won the state championship years and years ago, and a team that was prideful and had a bunch of players in this area that went on to the University of Florida and other colleges, and here we are now. 2014 was the last time that Santa Fe started 3-0, and here we are today, and they got to feel damn good about this. Proud of you guys.
And now they will take the knee and try to drain the rest of this clock. And I'll tell you what a performance by the Santa Fe team when you think about it. Here's a guy, too, in Ernest Graham. what he does is he builds programs. When you think about it, head coach at North Fort Myers and turned that program around, then the head coach and head of football operations at Evangelical Christian in Fort Myers. Obviously has your background too, playing for UF with Steve Spurrier and Ron Zook and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got a son who was an all-freshman SEC at UF, now a sophomore. And you just look at this. We mentioned they had not won consecutive games since 2019. But even when you look at Palatka, too, their success is recent. They've been 7-4, 7-4, 7-4 last 3 years. But prior to that, you have to go back to about 2008 when they were 500.
Right.
So both of these programs are programs that look to be on the rise with two great leaders and could be a start of a great season for both of these teams.
Yeah, and listen, Palatka, this game drops them to 1-3. But it's not a true gauge of who they are and what they've done, right? It's a tight game here. Played some really tough competition out of the gate. But who knew you were going to get the Santa Fe, the new kids on the block? Who knew you were going to get the new boys that they've seen? For the last 4 years, those seniors that encounter Santa Fe have really taken them to the limit and just beat them down a little bit. Now all of a sudden, you can walk off this field as a Santa Fe Raider on your home field and say, hey, listen, we just knocked out the Palatka Panthers in our first district game. It's been a while, Randy. It's been a while for these guys. It's got to feel pretty daggone good.
And not as many burgers are in the past, but they do relish the outcome as well, too. Because Palatka couldn't catch up. Was that enough? There you go. Playing off your tease from the open there, your Sonny's barbecue recipe for success. And that's going to drain the clock down under a minute. And they'll have to go ahead and snap it one more time. Ernest Graham, the 45-year-old mentor, happy with his team's progress. Will he smile? Will he laugh? You got two guys that are pretty stoic sometimes, but I think he'll savor this victory for a long, long time.
Oh, he will. I mean, he has to. This is a great start to a coaching career here at Santa Fe for Ernest that he's got to feel good about.
Look to the back, Judge, and that will do it. Pick up the whistle, pick up the football, and they've done it. They've gone 3-0 on the season with a great start and a gutty performance. We talked about strength down the stretch. Palatka thought they had it, but you know what? Santa Fe had just that much more.
They did. I mean, this was a gutsy performance by a team that was just much maligned for years. And I can't say that enough to everybody that's listening to this broadcast because they have deserved this and they finally worked for it. And sure enough, probably about time to talk about our player of the game here.
Yes, let's talk about our player of the game. And we're going to go with big number 3. Going to go with Josiah Powell for his yeoman's-like effort in this contest. Maybe not the flash that we saw with Mr. Neal, but he kept things going. And when they needed that key yardage on a third down and even on a couple of fourth downs, Josiah was the guy.
But look how he ran the ball tonight. I mean, it took guys after guys. And you talk about wearing a defense down, and sometimes games are like this where you're not running off, these 60 or 70-yard touchdowns. It's the constant beating and the constant pounding. And you know what? These guys from Palatka were coming up and saying, listen, I got to make a business decision. Do I want to hit this guy again? I got to get up in the morning. I don't want to feel like this. And sure enough, Josiah Powell, who just ran the ball efficiently tonight behind a really nice offensive line. Good job to that young man tonight, and he is one of the reasons that this team is now 3-0.
And he is the IBEW Local 1205 Player of the Game. 24-20 the tally here in week number 4. We'll put a bow on this one when we come back to the IBEW Local 1205 Friday Night Rivals presented by Radiant Credit Union in one place right here on My 11. What a contest in week number 4 as Santa Fe prevails over Palatka by a count of 24-20 in this one. They march to 3-0 on the campaign, 1-3 now for the Panthers. And I head down to the field in just a second where Hannah Mack is going to be standing by. A great job by Hannah in her first contest ever as our sideline reporter. Great job by her. And you know what? There's so many takeaways from this game, too, that I think both head coaches are going to have plenty of rainbows to look for after this contest.
It will. I mean, I think both teams played really well. I mean, it was almost a penalty-free game. There wasn't a lot of those tonight. But we did see a lot of great back and forth between both teams. I mean, the fight never left.
How about turnovers?
Yeah, no turnovers.
Right.
So I think both teams have a lot to gain here. And if you're Santa Fe, obviously a lot to gain because now you're going to become kind of the hunted, right? You start 3-0 and everybody starts to take notice. 2-0 is like, oh, they might have not been a good opponents, but Palatka is a good damn team, Randy. and people are going to start taking notice, and Santa Fe is going to not surprise anybody anymore. And the good news about that is, if you're Ernest Graham, is that it's been a long time since it's been that, and you got a good team to be able to compete on a level that was much higher than it was for like the last half a decade.
And if you're facing Palatka in the future, lots of luck, too, because you have to pick your poison. They have so many talented athletes. We saw Offord, we saw Wright. They have so many choices. We talked about the fact that they have 8 running backs. I saw 7 in this contest for them tonight. So let's go down to the field right now as Hannah is standing by with a very happy head coach, Ernest Graham.
Coach, you've accomplished something that has not been done in 11 years, and that is starting the season 3-0 here at Santa Fe High School. How have you established a winning culture here so quickly in your first year?
First of all, I want to say I haven't done anything. We've done this, okay? I have a phenomenal staff. We have an excellent football team, and we give our best effort each and every day, and I think that's what won us the game tonight. Beyond X's and O's, we believe in what we're doing. We brought attitude to the field. We brought effort on every single snap, and we made the plays that we need to make, and that's going to be a staple of what Santa Fe football represents.
Coach, Palatka makes this a 3-point game. What is your message to your team that they come out, offensive drive, goes down the field, makes it a 10-point game? What was the message?
Be resilient, have a short memory, and make the plays that need to be made. That's who we are.
How important is your running back duo and Kiki Neal and Josiah Powell? How important are they to this team?
We believe we got the best. We got the best duo in the state. We have a phenomenal line that has been working their butt off. We have a phenomenal defense that's opportunistic. It's been playing great for us all season. We believe every game is going to represent a different opportunity for somebody to shine. And we got men on this team that are working hard and developing their skills. And anybody that we need to stand up anytime, we know are going to do it for our football team.
All right. On behalf of IBEW, Local 1205, and Friday Night Rivals, I present you guys with this trophy.
And a new slogan, don't hurt Hannah.
Don't hurt Hannah. It's been a long time since they host that trophy. You can see the smiles across those guys' face. That's going to be in the trophy hall come Monday.
3-0 says it all. Shannon, thank you for putting up with me. It's been a delight. And 2 weeks from now, you'll be back with Jeff.
Yeah, we'll be back with Jeff, and we'll be hanging out here. But, we'll have you on the sideline. And you know what, Randy? You're invited up here anytime.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good man.
I'll bring the burgers up to you, right?
I love it.
All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 1205, and Radiant Credit Union, who, through their contributions to the program, make these games possible for the viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors and their supporters for this contribution to every broadcast during 2025's Friday Night Rivals. They are Parks Motor Group of Gainesville, Mission Metals, Pavlov Media, Bound Heating and Air, Sonny's Barbecue, GFL, Call a Mattress, UF Health Ortho Care, Skyfrog Tree Service, and Tucker Chiropractic. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating schools and their administrators for their support, Palatka Middle High School and our hosts, Santa Fe High School. 20-20, the final for Shannon. I'm Randy. I'll say it one more time. This has been the IBEW Local 1205 Friday Night Rivals presented by Radiant Credit Union in one place here on My 11.
Thank you to our valued sponsor partners who make this telecast of Friday Night Rivals possible. IBEW Local Union 1205, Radiant Credit Union, and Parks Motor Group. Also, thank you to our great sponsor supporters for their contributions. Pavlov Media, GFL Environmental, UF Health Ortho Care, Sonny's Barbecue, Bounds Heating and Air, Skyfrog Tree Service, Mission Metals Manufacturing, Call a Mattress Superstore, and Tucker Chiropractic. And a special thanks to tonight's participating high schools for their continued support.